What is up, everyone, and welcome into the live Clippers versus Mavericks Game 7 watch party. We're prepared to bring you some of these elimination games live via watch party throughout the rest of the playoffs, and this is kind of the first real high-pressure one that we've seen, and it's going to be Luka versus the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers trying to avoid choking again in the playoffs, as they seem to do at an annual pace at this point. We got a little bit of time till the game starts, maybe 5-10 minutes, I'd say at least. As the Atlanta Hawks and the 76ers are wrapping up. And the Atlanta Hawks have won. Let's talk about this game a little bit first. What's your thoughts on the Hawks taking game one? Mac Daddy.
Well, Mike, everyone thought you're outlandish. You know, that your pick of the Atlanta Hawks over the Philadelphia 76ers was outlandish, but I was right there with you. What I've seen from the Hawks so far this playoffs has been just a well-balanced, complete team. They got the shooters, they got the mid-range, they got Trae Young who can hit it from anywhere on the court and get to the basket. They have a young team, but they are very complete, and that's exactly what we saw in this victory today over Philadelphia.
Brian, your thoughts?
Yeah, we saw a team that took care of business without a doubt, and I think it's really important that they escaped this game with the win. Now, I know that they pretty much handled them the entire game, but this got dicey in the last couple minutes. You saw a lot of their young players, Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, making some mistakes, and I think it's a huge deal for their confidence that they escape. They don't have to bite them in the butt this time, and I don't think we see those same mistakes anymore. I think for the Sixers, you're obviously seeing one. It's good Joel Embiid is out there. You're going to have a chance in this series. So let's not write him off yet.
No, we're not right. We shouldn't write him
He was definitely not 100%. But then to me, their main thing is Danny Green and Ben Simmons are a straight up liability on the offensive side. Danny Green didn't make any of his wide open threes, it seems like. And then you have Ben Simmons. He can't make any free throws. So he's not near as aggressive as he needs to be. He needs to be a guy that's taking 15 shots a game. And his confidence is clearly shot. Also, did the Hawks win? I know I'm behind you guys, but now it's back down to a 2-point game with 10 seconds. Am I?
And it's like a meltdown before our very eyes, folks. It's a 2-point game with 8.9 seconds left with Bogdanovic headed to the free throw line with foul shots. I mean, this game is actually not over yet. I've seen crazier endings. Now it's
I didn't know if something was happening. Was I like just 5 minutes behind you guys? But I'm watching something on my TV. I'm like, holy cow! Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe all this stuff is going to come back to bite him in the butt. But I mean,
you're absolutely right, though, Brian.
The Sixers will win game 2. I feel very confident about that.
You're absolutely right, Brian, because they found the Atlanta's weakness right now. The Atlanta Hawks do not know how to break a press. It's just it is. They have killed them with it this entire fourth quarter.
That inbounding the ball. That's 2 flub-a-dub-dubs right there inside of 20 seconds. Inbounding the ball.
Now the game is officially over, and the Atlanta Hawks have won.
Yeah.
The Atlanta Hawks officially take a 1-0 lead.
Is where you got to see Ben Simmons do what he does best. Like, he's great on defense, and he's a good player. But it really hurts the 76ers that he cannot be used on offense like he needs to be, especially with Joel Embiid being banged up. They're going to need massive games out of Joel Embiid or Danny Green as their kind of X factor is going to have a game where he's hitting 4 and 5 threes for them to win. Obviously, Seth Curry balled out today, but he's kind
Tobias Harris is going to have to be huge in this series for Philadelphia.
I mean, he's a max player.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy to me that you look at the 76ers, they have 2 max players, and you can't expect great offensive performances from them. That's tough.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually incredible.
But the Hawks fans got to feel pretty good getting out of this one with a win. Now that we can say that for sure. Like, hey, you went in there, game 1, got it done. Bogdanovic balled out. Obviously, Trae Young set the pace for the first half and did enough towards the end.
I love these Hawks, man. I love seeing them playing with a chip on their shoulder, especially in New York. That whole series, it just seemed like they were feeding off of the crowd's energy. We'll see how rowdy these Philadelphia fans get throughout it. All right, now we're on to the next game. That game's officially over. It's actually over, by the way. The Hawks win.
Yeah, the Hawks just officially won.
Mavericks. I know you got a lot to say, Nick. What do the Mavericks got to do to upset the Clippers here tonight?
Well, I just got to say that my stomach has been in knots for the last 6 hours, so I'm just trying to expel that energy right now. But you said it at the beginning of the live, Mike. It has been Luka versus the Clippers. Now, last game, they actually performed pretty well with Luka off the court, but they cannot afford that kind of game in Game 7. Luka is going to have to be Luka legend. He's going to have to be Don Luka, man, because he's going to have that huge game, and these other guys are going to have to perform above where they've been performing. Now, Tim Hardaway Jr. has been great. He's going to have to continue to be that. And then you need guys like Jalen Brunson, Kristaps Porzingis. Rick Carlisle needs to stay with what was working. And although he may not have been great at finishing around the rim the other night, having Boban in there, the team overall was just playing better. And if that is the case again tonight, Rick Carlisle needs to stick with that lineup. Again, Luka needs to be legendary, but the rest of this team needs to step up more than they have been for sure.
Yeah, it seems like night in, night out, Luka's putting the whole team on his back. Brian, your preview of this game, who you rooting for, and what do you think is going to happen?
I'm rooting for the Mavericks. I'm going to say that they're going to get it done. I'm going to say Luka's getting 40+, and the paper clips fold under the pressure. I think we saw that last game, to be quite honest with you. If Kawhi didn't step up and play some amazing basketball, like he single-handedly really won them that game offensively in the third and fourth quarter. Paul George was fumbling the ball around everywhere. Their other players were definitely cracking under the pressure a little bit, but Kawhi was just that special. So to me, it's got to come down to, first for the Mavs, Luka has to win enough of his battles when he's going up against Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard really kind of shut him down a little bit. And then on the reverse side, they're going to have to do more against Kawhi Leonard. They're not going to be able to just go single up and keep him away from the basket. I think you either have to aggressively trap him and put the pressure on a guy like Marcus Morris to make his threes, or you have to funnel him to the basket and don't be afraid of Boban picking up fouls, stuff like that. But if you let him live in the mid-range and just pull up on you, he's going to kill you. It's death by 1,000 cuts.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Brian. And one more thing I would like to add is that, like you said, you got to make the other guys hit their shots and force the panic of the Clippers. We've seen it, like Brian pointed out, at the end of last game, a couple games before that, I believe it was game 5 in Los Angeles. We saw them panicky and turning the ball over at the end of the game. You have to cause that havoc.
Yes. Agree with both of you guys. And I am also rooting for the Mavericks in this. Big Luka Doncic fan. I was slamming my desk a year ago when he was trying to upset the Clippers. I hope he can complete that today. And we're going to get to that game and the watch party right after this very short, what do you guys think, 7-second break?
Wait.
We're going to have this scoreboard up for us to look at if we need to look at it. It's more for the live stream's look of things. But if you guys want to keep in mind that the TV might be ahead of the scoreboard by one possession or so.
Now, for everybody out there, I am a couple seconds ahead of the rest of these guys.
And the Mavericks win the tip. We are officially underway.
2-0.
Yep.
I got 2-0.
I should take it back. I think that the scoreboard is ahead of me.
Hey, immediately though, Hardaway Jr. getting an easy bucket. Those are things that you can't let happen in a game 7. I know it's the first bucket of the game, but everything counts, man. And Marcus Morris Sr. with a jumper fadeaway from the baseline. That's exactly what you want.
Yeah, Brian, that's
literally
exactly
the perfect.
what the Clippers need. I mean, what the Mavericks need the Clippers to do. They need to force those shots.
Randy Pepperton, he's here just for Brian, just to tease you, Brian. Randy,
of course,
making an appearance as he always does.
And Kawhi hits his first jumper of the day, mid-range, right over Kristaps. 2-2.
Clippers fans will flood LA just like the Lakers fans did.
Sorry, I'm not going to be able to contain my emotions for this.
Paul George basketball like bolsters gives takes. Garbage.
Wow. Wow. That's
I believe saying Julio Jones to the Titans, and that looks pretty good, man.
Brian's got to fit that in. Congratulations to you, Brian.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. This offense, hey, it's going to be another top 5 offense again for the Tennessee Titans. This year, I think, though, it's going to be their best offense yet, particularly when it comes time for the playoffs. We just need Dylan Radunz from North Dakota State, that offensive tackle, to really step up, unlike our top offensive tackle pick last year.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a 5-4 game here. 2 minutes have gone by in the first quarter. Dallas is leading 5-4.
Boban, you're such a flub-a-dub.
Yep. Boban looks like a giant.
Again,
like not just his height, you know what I'm saying? Like he looks like a giant.
I said this off the air. Again, Boban catches the ball and he brings it down below his waist. And what happens? There's a turnover. He needs to turn around with the ball at least at eye level or above and put the ball in the hoop. He's big enough. Stop bringing the ball below your waist and turning it over every single time. Watch that during this game.
Hey, on a positive note, I just love to see Luka Doncic go to work back to the basket when he gets smaller players.
Oh,
I
love
that in his game. He's young, and he's already putting that like as a solid part of his game.
Right.
I mean, it's almost to the point where it's a staple. When he ages, that's really going to pay off because, I mean, we know he probably doesn't get enough credit for his athleticism, but at the same time, we know he's a misfit in terms of raw athleticism when it comes to that top 5, top 10 player in the NBA. And that's going to be an advantage that he has, his post-up game.
They are forcing tough shots on the defensive side. The Clippers are just hitting their shots right now. It is 7. We do have a 7. What's that?
An ad. We're not going to give StreamYard an ad while we're using StreamYard.
Yeah. Oh, man. Am I the only one? I still just can't believe that Nick Batum is playing meaningful playoff minutes. I mean, here in North Carolina. I saw him play for the Hornets, and he is playing. The Hornets. Like, what is going on? That's mind-blowing. I mean, good for him. That's like a total resurrection. Unbelievable.
Right. I mean, you're absolutely right. He fleeced the Hornets in that contract. So Mavs are doing all right. They're sticking with this zone defense here to start the game 7. Kawhi has been able to pull up and hit the mid-range a couple times now. I think they need to start thinking about maybe just doubling Kawhi. Maybe going box and 1 or something.
I like it. The thing that makes the doubles hard is with Boban out there. Like if you have Boban out there, you're playing a zone, but it's really like it's a zone matchup where you're playing man with him just in the paint, if you know what I'm saying, kind of the opposite of your box and 1, if you will.
The Clippers now have a 1-point lead. I mean, Kawhi is picking him right back up where he left off.
What's your reaction going to be if the Mavs lose, Nick?
Man. I mean, it's going to be a lot of it's going to be good content.
Pain. Pure pain.
Porzingis getting involved, Mavs. This is going to be a back and forth game here tonight, fellas. I'm telling you.
No doubt.
Morris again for 3, and this time he hits it. Damn.
You are so far ahead of me.
Am I?
Yeah.
I'm getting the very nice pleasure of seeing Kawhi still hit his pull-up jumper.
Yeah, like I think I'm like 2 minutes behind you. I just now saw the Morris 3.
I just now saw the Morris 3.
Oh, see, I'm so far ahead.
Just go for it, Nick. We'll bounce off of you.
Oh, all right. I hope so. It does not count. The basket does not count. I cannot believe they didn't call that. Unbelievable.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. That it's a terrible call. Everybody's upset about it. It's a terrible call. But anyway, Mavs by 2. I mean, Mavs down by 2. 8.5 minutes left in the first. Yeah, what will you see if we lose? I just wanted to say about, I'm glad to even be in a game 7. I did not expect this, but they are killing them with these backdoor cuts by Kristaps Porzingis. It's now a tie ball game. That's twice in a row now that they've done that. And Kawhi comes down and hits a 3. Kawhi is 3 for 3 from the field. He's got 7 points, 14-11 lead for the Clippers. The Mavs have got to do something about Kawhi Leonard.
So Kawhi's got 7 of the 11 points?
7 of the 14 points. He's got half the team's points.
Yeah.
The thing is, for them to do something, they're going to have to take Boban out, which then you worry about him getting to the basket. But
I'm not worried about that, though, at the same time.
Well, I'd rather that than just let him pick his spots, let him take his shots. I mean, I'm a big believer in taking the star out of his game, putting pressure on a Reggie Jackson to make plays, right?
And on the flip side now, Paul George is 0 for 2 from the field. So, sorry to interrupt you, Brian. Go ahead.
Well, no doubt. The flip side of that argument is, and you see a lot of teams do it to the Hawks and Trae Young in particular, is you let the star get off and you let everybody else, you kind of shut them out. And then that way, when you kind of play the game of attrition, the fourth quarter comes, that star's a little bit tired, and the other guys have no confidence. Right. So, it's two schools of thought there.
Absolutely. Again, this high post with Boban to the high post is working on offense. So again, Brian,
he's a good passer.
If he could keep the ball above his head. Every time he brings it below his waist, Tim Hardaway Jr. takes his first 3 of the game, deep 3, and he's off. Clippers up by 1 with 7 minutes left to go in the first here.
Yeah, Boban really is a good passer. So I think they're doing a nice thing. Hey, if they're going to basically high trap on that high pick and roll, they're just putting 2 guys on Luka, then hit him in the high post, and you have those backdoor cuts. Because if not, if Paul George collapses down to the block there to take that away, then you're going to have those corner threes wide open. Batum, what in the world? I mean, as Hornets fans, I'm not like a Hornets fan, but Hornets fans have to see this and just be irate. Like, he hadn't done that for the Hornets since like 2018.
Maybe before that. To be honest. But now we have a 3-point lead. We have our first time out of the game. And what I've taken away from this first 5 minutes of the game here is this zone defense might not be working for Dallas any longer. They cannot let Kawhi sit there and pick his spots. And that's what they have been doing. I know we just talked about it, but it's just what's going to kill them. And they're just getting wide open shots from swinging the ball around. And that's what's going to happen when you're playing a zone defense.
Got to live with something, huh? Got to live with something.
It's pick your poison, but I'd rather put it on the shoulders of everybody else, not named Kawhi Leonard.
I'm with you, man. I'd say Reggie Jackson, do it again. I don't think you can.
Dare him to do it again, too.
No doubt.
And then he does.
I just don't.
Crushes the Clippers' souls. Or not the Clippers, the Mavericks' souls.
Listen, so getting back to what I was saying about this series is that I believe this is all a bonus to even be in a Game 7 with this team. This is not a team that I expected to get past the first round of the playoffs. So being in a Game 7 situation, it's huge. It's the biggest game for our franchise in a very long time. Very long time. There's no doubt about it. I guess Game 6 last year was big, quote unquote, but our backs were against the wall. Now, these past 2 games, we've had their backs against the wall and haven't been able to seal the deal. And, it's just great to even be in that position. Again, defensively, this team scared the crap out of me, and they stepped up on both sides of the ball this season. In a way, you could say they've overachieved in my eyes a little bit.
The Mavs?
Yeah.
You're saying?
Yeah.
The Mavs have definitely, I'd say maybe overachieved, but just a little bit. I think
just a
realistically, like those expectations for Luka, they're real and they're deserved. He is that good. I think this Game 7 is a big moment in his career because a lot of times these games come down to, defense, of course, but also who's the best player on the floor? Is it going to be Kawhi today or is it going to be Luka? Game 6, it was Kawhi by a large margin.
By a mile.
He was like, hey, young fella, like, you're an upcoming star. You've got a lot of hype, but no, like, you ain't here yet. And it's kind of leaning that way again today.
Yeah, a little bit.
This is the paper clips. This is the paper clips. So I don't care what happens. They could be up 15, the start of the fourth. I'm telling you, they're going to have shaky moments because if Kawhi isn't the one doing it, it's going to get shaky out there, and he doesn't communicate. He's not a leader. So even if he's balling out and leading with his play, he's in isolation, if that makes sense. So I don't think the team really feels that connection just because he's going off. I don't think that has the same kind of rub off that you might have gotten from a LeBron James, let's say, or a Kobe, where I think everybody starts feeling great when those guys get it going.
Right.
Yeah,
we are back to action here, by the way, fellas.
They kind of get fueled by the guys that are going off above them. We're going to hit this commercial real quick for ourselves as well one more time before we get back to the
And just as you hit that commercial, Luka hits a sweet step back three to tie the game up.
Wow. Just now saw it. Let's go. Let's go. Right over Kawhi, too.
And Batum answers back with a three of his own.
Batum. Wow. Like, I'm going to be so upset for the Mavs if they lose in a game 7 where Nick Batum has like 22 points. Because, I mean, what does he have? 7 points right now?
Yeah, I mean, they're letting him beat him, and that's kind of what you want. I mean, Batum, can he get hot like that anymore? Have we really seen that? Like, I don't know.
I'm telling you, this is
think
like
you gotta live with Batum.
This is like if in that Heat Bucks series, all of a sudden Udonis Haslem would have like came out on the court and started playing 25, 30 minutes and was putting up buckets. Like, that's how much of a resurrection this is. Even though I think he's only like 32, 31. Man.
Yeah. So now we have a 21-18 game with just under 5.5 minutes left in the first. Looking like a, pretty damn good game here so far, fellas, for sure.
Yeah.
Clippers look confident.
Honestly, I think Man needs to play more for them. Young player out of Florida State. Right. I'd like to see him play more for the Clippers.
The Mavs are getting a couple good opportunities here, and they've just missed their open shots right now. You have to think, and Tim Hardaway Jr. is coming up hobbling on his right ankle. No good. If he goes down, somebody else is going to have to really step up for this team. No good. Tim Hardaway Jr. limping considerably, headed back to the Mavericks bench.
The Mavs have to be more aggressive, particularly on that last
going
possession.
To the locker room. Sorry.
With Luka. He's got to take that layup right there, take the contact and go in, and then Porzingis has to take the wide open three. I don't know what he's waiting for. That is a major deal for the Mavs having Hardaway go out, because then that puts so much pressure on Luka, obviously, but then the rest of the guys in terms of their shooting.
Right.
Like Kleba, we need 4 threes minimum.
Yeah,
seriously though, Finney Smith, no, 4 threes. That's the minimum now.
Yep. It looks like he landed awkwardly and injured the outside of that right foot. Porzingis knocks down 2 free throws. Still a 1-point game here, fellas. It's 21-20 ball game, approaching 5 minutes left in the first. It's been a pretty even match. The Mavs are making the other guys beat them right now. Terrence Mann, Nick Batum are the guys taking the shots. And again, you live with that.
From the way he was just acting, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that he'll be back. I think he'll be back in this game.
That was weird. He kind of took 4 steps before he felt pain.
Yeah, it was weird. He backpedaled a little bit. And again, I think he just came down a little awkwardly. Maybe they're going to tape him up and he'll be back. It's now a 3-point lead for the Clippers.
Tape him up quick.
Oh, Luka with another step back 3 right in Batum's face. Tie ball game.
Yeah, take that, Batum.
Man, Luka. I really hope he balls out. I don't know if he really has that many haters.
Luka again. He's going over.
It's so bizarre. Like, I'm just staring at Clippers 3 and Max lives in his mind over there.
Rondo hits a 3 for the Clippers. 26-26 ball game. Sorry, fellas. He is just
Rondo just hit a 3.
No.
What?
Oh, Luka goes for his third in a row, but he throws up an air ball. Yuck.
Heat check. He said, don't forget, Doncic is still young and can feel more of the pressure despite his talents.
He's absolutely right, and that's where the experience of Kawhi and Paul George lead and Rondo even leading these young guys along, these role players.
He really got a nice shot, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, he's feeling himself, but he really created a pretty wide open three, like not crazy deep. That's a little bizarre. It must have slipped out of his hand or something.
Terrence Mann is now 3 for 3 from the field as well.
Man, everybody's shooting it pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh, Boban just got, man.
So it's a 29-26 ball game for the Clippers. 3:17 left in the first. I mean, both teams, they're just shooting well. They're just shooting the ball well right now.
Both teams not only look good, but they look confident. That's something I know in basketball games. You can see the confidence between the teams. You saw a lot with the Lakers in that series. The Lakers did not look confident out there at all.
Turnover for Dallas, right. 5-point lead for the Clippers. Timeout Mavericks, 31-26.
I don't know. The difference I see, though, is the Mavs are having to work a lot harder for their shots. They're having to make more contested shots. Right. The Clippers are getting wide open looks.
Look, the defense of the Mavericks, I think I said it before, is what scared me all season long. You're talking about one of the worst teams defensively in the league last year, and this year they were right towards the bottom of the league again. Again, on the defensive side of the ball, they've overperformed a little bit.
Yeah, that was an ugly turnover right there.
Especially when it leads to 2 points.
That's the inexperience.
Ball turnovers.
Yeah. It's inexperience of Josh Richardson. It's the inexperience of, these younger guys out there right now.
I still think Luka takes some blame there, and I feel like I see this all the time in high-level basketball, whether that be the NBA or college, but, like, pick up the ball right there. Don't dribble it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really have control. Just pick it up and then work instead of trying to dribble it immediately. I feel like that's something that could have prevented that. Maybe not.
Is this something you live with? I know Kawhi's got 7 points right now, but Nick Batum's got 7 points. Terrence Mann has 6 points. I mean, these are the guys you can live with beating you, right?
Yes.
You're making the other guys beating you.
Yes, Nick, but on at least a couple of these threes, the most recent three from Batum, Mann, and Rondo, there's nobody within 12 feet. Like, I get it. Yeah, you can live with those guys beating you, but these are NBA players. Like, you have to at least put a little pressure on them.
Yeah,
100%. 100%. You have to at least get a hand in the face. At least get a little poke of the belly button like we used to in high school when they go up for the three. Little boop. learn that one from the best. That was Gary. That was a Gary Payton move, man.
Yeah, and I hate the guys who, when they close out on a three, they know they're not going to get there. They put hands down low. You'll see Trae Young do that. Some put hands down towards the feet. Just a little bit of a mind game. I hate that.
For some people who are feeling the pressure, feeling the jitters, it might work for them. Or it might work on those kind of players. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Every jump shooter, I think, has it somewhere in the back of their mind. They're worried about what they're going to land on. We've seen it happen to players. We've seen it happen to Kobe. We've seen it happen to Kawhi. Obviously, in the playoffs, it's probably one of the more famous recent ones.
It's pretty much what got the rule written and put into rule is, what happened with Pachulia and Kawhi. Closing in, you got to give them a spot to land. That incident pretty much was the final straw before the rule was written.
Yeah, no doubt. You got to protect the stars.
Yeah, exactly. So, Mike and Brian, I actually want to get your thoughts while we have a little break here. What are your thoughts, you both being Lakers fans, on the first round exit?
Injuries, man. Go ahead, Mike.
I'll go first because I'm sure Brian has a lot more to say than I do, a lot more substance at least. I'm okay with it to a certain extent that I know that this team was not going to make it much further in the playoffs anyways at that state with all the injuries and everything that was going on. And I feel like we needed a long off season. So I'm looking at the positive side of it, Nick. Looking at the positive.
Okay. That's fine.
Get healthy. We can take our old man Braun and Drummond and AD into the next season and probably add someone else It's the Lakers. Let's be honest. They're going to add something else. Whatever they were going to pay Schroeder, they're probably going to give to another star. So we'll see who they add, but go at it again next year at full health. Because last year's offseason for both the Heat and the Lakers was a lot shorter than the teams that we see playing on the court right now because, the Clippers choked, the Mavericks lost.
Right.
Yeah, it definitely, has that come into question a little bit when we saw a lot of the teams who made a deep run in the bubble playoffs be early exits. Now, of course, it's a new season. There's tons of different variables for that. But I think Mike's being pretty optimistic about it, to be quite honest with you. I mean, I'm worried. It looked like the Lakers' serious window to win championships has closed, in my opinion. Like, Anthony Davis stays hurt. LeBron James, I know he was coming off an injury, but he had a lot of time to come off that injury. It was the first time where I think you truly saw LeBron James look old and really not look like the same player.
Right.
And then you bring up Schroeder. That man cost himself a lot of money this season. And, of course,
he did.
in that series. And then, I mean, I don't know. I was really disappointed as a Lakers fan, not just a LeBron fan, which I know a lot of the Lakers fans are now, which no issue with that. But in the way I thought he acted in those games.
Right.
Now, I get it.
Absolutely.
His teammates were garbage. Like, they were letting him down. I get it. That when you're in a blowout, it's tough at times. But I do think, at least on some level, he contributed to that. And what I mean is I don't know that he really did his best job like we've seen him do in the past of leading those guys and making them confident. I don't think he did. I think he tried to get them going early in those games. They didn't. And he was like, kind of like, forget y'all. Like, dang, this ain't going to happen. Right. Which, again, like, those guys are professionals. They need to step up on his own. But to me, the major takeaway was like, wow, the Lakers thing is probably over. Now, Mike's right. They are the Lakers. They very well could add somebody. But it just seems like now 37-year-old LeBron, he's going to be really good. Right. Don't get me wrong. But it's like, is Anthony Davis going to stay healthy for an entire season? And then is that enough anymore? I would have said it's enough. Coming into these playoffs, I was still confident that the Lakers are going to win it all. I thought they were probably healthier
yes,
than they were. Don't get me wrong,
yes, you were. And you can catch that on both Sports Force and Married to the Game. But I just want to give a little update here to interrupt your Lakers talk for a minute. Tim Hardaway Jr. is back on the court. Luka Doncic is just playmaking all over the place. We have a tie ball game now with a minute and a half left in the first quarter. And Kristaps Porzingis is 3 for 4 from the field with 8 points. This is what we need.
That's a great sign for the Mavericks to start off this game for sure. And to go back to like the LeBron point, go
ahead.
I'm the biggest Bron sexual, as they like to call us, that you'll find. You know what I mean? I'm a Bron can do no wrong type of guy. But even I was kind of upset to see how you reacted because you're at a different level when you're in this conversation, in top 5, top 3, top 2, whatever the ranking is for you, right? Whoever personally ranks in that conversation to be the greatest ever, you got to react differently than he reacted in that moment. You know
I'm with you.
That's what's expected of you. Being there,
Luka.
Is Anthony Davis walking off the court? I have less problems with it. But as
no doubt,
you want to be in that conversation, you got to react differently to that.
Luka Doncic has 17 first quarter points right now. Mavs up by 3.
Yeah, and you got the cavalry in the chat right now. Just everyone.
Yeah,
let's go,
Let's
Mavs.
Go, Bobby Whopper. Let's go, Mavs.
Mike, you're right, man. Like, I think it's the Spider-Man quote, like, with great power comes great responsibility. Like, that's right. Like, you are held to an elevated standard. I hear that brought up a lot with all great players, not just LeBron. We can go NFL. And it's like, well, why do we hold them to that standard? It's because, well, they're in the conversation for the greatest of all time. That's a different standard than what we hold for Reggie Jackson. Like, no shot at Reggie Jackson, but it's like, it is different. If we're going to consider LeBron James one of the greatest leaders of all time, which I don't think is, I think that's within the realm of possibility without a doubt, then we have to hold him to that standard. That's all it is. I think that's a form of respect, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, and it's not even like Reggie Jackson. Like even Kawhi Leonard, I wouldn't expect as much out of him, and he's a superstar.
100%. You're exactly right.
You know,
Yeah,
you guys
I mean-
both make really valid points. I love you both, and I got you going on a Lakers tangent.
But
But
in the background,
let's go back to some teams who are still playing here. All right, I gotta throw my
Favorite
shots,
clips, man.
I gotta throw in my
Randy
shot.
is mine. He says the
Well,
Mavs
you know-
and the Clippers. So.
I was actually wrong. Luka Doncic actually has 19 first quarter points. Make it. He missed both free throws, which is absolutely terrible. This is another storyline of this series that the Mavericks, Luka Doncic, cannot make his free throws.
Shout out
Yeah.
sports guy.
Chase the sports guy, how are you? We are freaking out. Well, I am freaking out. Mavs up by 3 here with just 24 seconds or 32 seconds left in the first quarter. The Mavs have not played their best basketball, and they have a 3-point lead. Luka
Definitely haven't defensively, but they've played just about their best basketball offensively, right?
I think it's just Luka taking over, honestly, at this point. Oh,
well, that's kind of what I'm
with
saying.
the
Like Luka's on pace to score 80. So,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
ridiculous.
saying? Like,
And now they're going to hold for the last shot with a 1-point lead here in the first quarter. Luka Doncic, high off the backboard. Powell with the putback, 38-35. Mavericks at the end of the first quarter.
Sounds like a good time for a commercial. So I'm seeing some talk in the chat right now, a lot about the Jazz, a lot about some other Western Conference
Let's bring
teams.
them. Let's bring it up while we're got a break here.
I was bringing up the Suns. Tony was over here bringing up the Clippers and Jazz. Now that the Lakers are officially eliminated, who do you guys have coming out the West? Is it whoever comes out of this game, you think?
No. I mean, as much as I would like to see the Mavs roll past the Jazz, and I know Brian's going to love this, but I think Rudy Gobert is going to cause mayhem for the Mavericks. I think Donovan Mitchell is going to cause mayhem for the Mavericks. But I think it's the Phoenix Suns. I think whoever wins that Phoenix Suns Denver Nuggets series is who I'm looking at to come out the West.
yeah, I'm liking the Suns as well. But don't rule out like DeAndre Ayton maybe just had like an out-of-body experience and maybe Jokic just puts them in a blender.
Right.
But again, they have Chris Paul and Devin Booker, and the Nuggets have Austin Rivers and Campazzo. So
Hey, don't leave out Michael Porter Jr. Come on.
Hey, I like the Suns for sure. But honestly, no, I'm taking the winner of this series over the Jazz.
Wow.
For sure. Over the Jazz. Like, I don't think that the Jazz can match up. I think the Jazz honestly would rather see the Clippers. I think the Mavs are a really bad matchup for the Jazz. I don't see how Rudy Gobert is going to be in a good situation because I think in that case, you see the Mavs go small and then he has nowhere to go unless they try to play his zone, which then in that case, you're playing with fire because Luka, Hardaway Jr., I mean, even Cleveland, you got to give him some respect. The Mavs got some shooters.
No, but the Jazz have those role players and shooters as well. I mean, you got Bogdanovich over there. You got Joe Ingles. You got the 6th man of the year, Jordan Clarkson. And I believe Joe Ingles finished right behind him in the voting. So you have a really deep team in the Utah Jazz. And that's where I think they will have the advantage over any team that advances. I do think me and Brian differ on this. We have all season a little bit. I mean, I do agree with the overrated Rudy Gobert take. Obviously, he's not worth that kind of money. But I do think that they will have that advantage of being the deeper, more complete team over whoever advances out of these two today.
I'm in a pickle here because I want to root for the Suns, and especially with Chris Paul and stuff, big Chris Paul fan. Chris Paul is, I know I'm young enough, teenage years, Chris Paul is in his prime for me. So he's kind of
God.
He's one of the OGs for me. But
thanks for making me feel old.
I can't root for the Suns because then Joe Morley would not shut up. He will not. This blind Suns prediction from 10 months ago.
Mike, you have to pick the Hawks to win it all. That's what you have to do. You have to go big. You have to go big right now on the live and be like, you know what? I'm taking the Hawks to win the whole damn thing.
No, I already said the Hawks are going to run into the Nets, and then it's going to be a problem. I was saying that guys like Trae Young, guys like Damian Lillard, guys like Luka are doing the best stuff in the NBA right now, the most exciting basketball to watch. But it doesn't matter because their reward is going to be a loss to a super team at some point.
Yeah, I do want to say one thing about the game one victory for Brooklyn over Milwaukee yesterday. We have to remember there's one anomaly from that game. The Bucks are not going to shoot 6 for 30 or 6 for 35, whatever it was from three-point land again. There's no way. That's the anomaly here. They were getting good shots. They were getting open shots. Giannis has to put his head down and not take any shots past the free throw line.
BG saying Luka has a better step back than Harden.
That's a little bit.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't know.
But it is clean when Luka gets
That's going to be the question, though. Does Harden come back? Like, how limited is he going to be? Because I think if everything works perfect for the Nets, then they're going to win it all. But it's almost like a curse having that much offensive talent, and that's all very similar offensive talent in kind of isolation scoring. So that can throw a wrench into it. I think you saw a really good example of how the Nets, with the simplification of just Kyrie, KD, can really work smoothly together on offense. I think they come out of the East. And I would love to see Chris Paul win a championship. I think he's been underrated for so long. So I would love to see that. The only thing that will kind of hurt me a little bit, I don't know, Mike, you tell me, are the LeBron people going to be just like, you can't even stand them with their talk about how we lost to the Suns, they won the championship, or are you guys going to keep it reasonable?
No, our thing is already stamped. We just are going to keep bringing up the whole MJ losing in the first round thing over and over again.
Yeah, sounds like it. What do you guys think about this game? Hold on, Luke Kennard in the game, hitting a meaningful three-pointer, a man that averaged 2 minutes per game in this series before making some meaningful minutes in Game 6 and now here in Game 7, actually knocking down a shot.
Luke Kennard, man, at Duke, he's one of the best shooters I think college basketball has seen. He's unreal, to be quite honest with you. I'm a little disappointed that his career's kind of gone this way. I think injuries have hampered him. I'm
a big Redick fan, Brian. I was a huge Redick at Duke fan, man. He used to go on
Redick
some unbelievable shooting streaks there. Yeah. Unreal.
JJ Redick was shooting threes before it was cool.
Ha. Mavs, Kristaps with a tough step back jumper, 40-40 here in the second quarter. Kristaps 4 for 5 from the field, 12 points here. Playing great ball.
They're doing a good job right now surviving the minutes where Luka's not out there.
And again, another wide open three-pointer for the Clippers. Marcus Morris, 43-40, LA.
Damn, man. The Mavs are really giving them those wide open shots.
And Josh Richardson just needs to stop touching the ball. Offensive foul on Paul George. Big turnover from the Mavs. Josh Richardson is so panicky with the ball. He's been this way all series. I think he might be leading both teams in turnovers. I mean, he just panics every time he just can't.
It's Rondo with good hands.
Again, yeah, Rondo, good hands.
Hey, your boy Kleba. He's the one who took that charge.
My boy Kleba.
Shine for Kleba right there.
He does the little things.
Hard charge.
He does the little things.
Yeah.
You do got to like seeing Hardaway on that drive before the turnover. He didn't or anything. He took 2 big steps and looked fine.
The Mavericks have to win the court when Luka is off of it. They have to win these small matchups here.
RKM Sports Show, welcome to the chat, man. Luka
solid defense from Kleba on Paul George.
We agree. We're looking to see some Luka dominance tonight.
We are trying to see it. He's off the court right now, but he has been unbelievable. Josh Richardson coming off the court. Thank God Rick Carlisle saw what I was seeing for once.
Paul George, man. I'm telling you.
Ooh, Trey Burke is getting minutes. Trey Burke is on the court. He has not touched the floor this series.
He's a microwave guy. He's somebody who can come in and get you quick 7 points.
He does bring a little spark, little energy. If you remember, and Maxi Kleba is hurt. Luka Doncic is returning to the floor. I am not going to miss you, Maxie. Sorry.
Yeah, man. He just made 2 great defensive plays, and you're just going to take a big old poo on him.
Yeah.
I heard
it on. That's right.
I heard his good if you guys want to go check it out.
Luka's back in the court. Luka is just so good at finding his teammates when you can't even see that they're there. It's amazing. And he turns the ball over just as I say that. Awesome.
Magic, dude. He does magic. He's turned into like the Patrick Mahomes of basketball.
And they're forcing tough shots for the Clippers. Not tough shots, but bad shots in transition. They're not giving him the easy transition buckets. Luka, again, with a terrible young mistake, throwing the ball into a crowded paint to Boban, turning it over.
Every time Boban gets the ball, I just start thinking of JaVale McGee.
Every time Boban gets the ball, you should probably look for him to bring it below his waist and turn it over. I mean, that's just a terrible pass by Luka into a crowded paint.
Oh, Boban. He took out Reggie Jackson.
He's been doing that a couple times. He probably doesn't realize his own strength. He touches somebody.
Yeah.
And he just go flying.
He patted him, and Reggie Jackson almost went flying.
6-point lead for the Clippers. Morris with another 3. Not good. He's 3 for 3 from 3-point land.
Yeah.
Morris is heating up.
He's almost a guy, though, I will say, that you want to get hot, because then he'll be like, oh, I'm the best player. Like, this is my time to shine. Game 7. Marcus Morris Sr., let's go. And then, all of a sudden Kawhi's not getting those shots down the stretch that maybe he should.
Turnover again for the Mavericks. Not good. Tim Hardaway steps out. I'm sorry, offensive foul.
I hate those calls, to be quite honest with you. Absolutely hate it. Think they need to take that out of the game, where a guy's making a pass and then takes 2 more steps, and a guy's taking a charge on somebody who passed the ball 2 steps before. I think that's awful.
Yeah.
Kristaps off from 3. It's still a 6-point lead here for the Clippers. Mavs they're settling. They're settling for their first shot. They're settling for outside shots right now, and they're not being smart with the ball. This is not going to win you a Game 7. The inexperience is starting to rear its ugly head here.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's that plus the lack of offensive creation outside of Luka, to be quite honest with you.
As he hits another fadeaway, step back, backs down. Morris, get off me, little man. Patented, as Brian says, patented little step back.
It really,
I love it. The turnaround step back has been beautiful.
The RKM sports show was just saying that Luke is impossible to defend when he starts to get hot with those one-legged step back shots.
Impossible, especially if he's getting the ball to bounce his way. It's unstoppable. Now Boban with another foul. Looks like he's going to be in foul trouble here. Dwight, you're going to see a lot more Dwight Powell today if that's the case with Boban.
I see we got 17 people in here viewing it. Thank you guys.
What's going on?
Show. If you're new, please drop a sub. We have 5 weekly shows right now with 3+ live streams. This is the 4th of the week, I'm pretty sure. So we do 3 or more live streams per week like this. So please drop a subscription and a like for us. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Back to you.
No doubt. I'm not sure about that call. I don't know what you guys thought, but I thought that was a little touchy. I think they've been letting them play pretty physical. They've been letting them play pretty physical.
All these calls these days, man. It's just ridiculous. You can't freaking tap anybody. They just go flying, try to sell it. Although this is LA, so the acting is going to be out in full force today.
Randy said, wow, Clippers really might do something.
Yeah. They are up by 6, 7 minutes left in the second quarter here. Again, the Mavs have gone cold besides Luka, and they're still hanging in there. So Hardaway Jr. has to make his threes. Boban, catch the ball. Stop. It's not volleyball, Boban. Can we catch the ball now?
Get it together, Boban. I'm still getting a Paul George free throw right now.
No, of course.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how many minutes Boban's playing.
Oh, steal from Kristaps. Pull up 3 off the steal. Why would you do that? If he hit it, I would have been happy, but he didn't.
Yeah, Hardaway looks
Batum for 3 off the mark. All right. Slowing it down. 6-point lead for the Clippers. 6:20 left in the second quarter. Mavs settling for tough shots. Again, Hardaway Jr. off the mark on a mid-range. The Mavs have gone cold here, and this is not a good sign. Not a good sign for Mavericks fans like myself. They've gone completely cold outside of Luka Doncic. Not good.
That was a bad shot choice by Porzingis there in that steal.
Yeah, and then Finney Smith has to get the rebound on that.
RKM
it looks like it's coming right to him.
RKM Sports Show, shout out. The Jazz are so good at flopping. Boban gets an and one. However, he is on the ground. He's getting up. Never mind.
Not Boban.
Boban.
Yeah, Hardaway, by the way, he's good to go. He doesn't seem to be restricted in any way by that previous injury.
Not at all. But Boban, gets the lay-in and the foul. 4-point game as we're at the 6-minute mark here in the second quarter. Listen, the Mavs have gone completely cold for the last 3.5, 4-minute stretch here, and they're still in this game. That gives me a little hope.
The Clippers need to go back to Kawhi. They need to quit messing around with all these other guys and get it back to Kawhi, man. Quit messing around. Morris
was feeling himself a little bit too much there.
See, there's something to that. Hey, also, I love that Boban went right over him. He's got a tough matchup on defense, and I think RKM,
I'm right there with you. As a matter of fact, if you go check out Into the Crosshairs on this Warzone Sports Network YouTube, if you go check it out, I rip into the flopping pretty bad this past week.
Yeah, Mac, you should send everyone over there. So we have 25 people watching right now.
Wow. Wow, everybody, please hit that subscribe button. Let's go.
We got a little graphic. Anyways, Nick, what do the Mavs need to change to get things back on track here? They're starting to slide a little bit. The game's still really close, but you can see the momentum changing.
They need to stop settling for the first outside look that they have. They are finding more success with either Luka or another ball handler, Brunson, Hardaway, Finney Smith. When they find some penetration into the paint, they're having more success with guys getting open on the outside. So they have to stop settling for the outside jump shots. Again, Kristaps Porzingis just got a steal. He had a 2-on-1 and he settles for a pull-up 3. That is not going to win you a game 7 against the Clippers on the road.
I'm assuming this okay from X Brand X was for you asking him to subscribe or check out Into the Crosshairs. We appreciate you. Shout out.
Hope so. Listen, I went off a little hard this week. I have to apologize a little bit to absolutely nobody.
I'm glad that you didn't get this canceled, Nick. That's all that matters.
I noticed you had to take a couple things out you didn't even tell me about till the episode aired.
Yeah, it took a couple things out.
Yeah, it got a little heated. Listen, guys, I usually do that show in one take. I probably did 47 takes that day.
Ooh.
Just because I was so heated. I was incoherent. I mean, when you tell me that Magic Johnson would be Ben Simmons in today's NBA, we need to stop talking basketball immediately. Like we're throwing hands. We're throwing hands.
Hey, no, Nick, here's one for the Mavs fans, and here's one for you.
I'm
pretty sure you saw. They said literally that Lauri Markkanen is way better than Dirk.
Not even a little better.
Give me Lauri Markkanen, and they're explaining of the NBA today is that, a team with Dirk and Zach LaVine, basically a team with a better version of Dirk and Zach LaVine can't even make the playoffs. So that's what these older generation players are like. And it's like
they were trying to
Dirk
trade
won it. He won a championship 10 years ago. It was 10 years ago. What did we think happened
3 years ago?
What did he think happened in just one decade?
Listen, they're going. Listen, they came at German Jesus, and they're going to German hell. And you know who else is in German hell? That's all I'm going to say. All right, you don't come at German Jesus.
Oh my gosh, Maxi Kleber, is that who you're talking about?
Boban misses the free throw. 4-point lead for the Los Angeles Clippers here.
RKM Sports Show. I'm sure he's talking to everyone, but mostly Nick, being the Mavs fan, wants to know about what you think of THC free agency and the Mavs.
I assume he means THJ and Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah.
Paul George hits a big three. Clippers up by 7 here with 5.5 to go in the second. I hope they don't overpay him to stay, because I think you can have some luck with other things in the in free agency. I think you could address through trades. I hope they don't overpay him to stay. I hope that this one series doesn't make them fall in love with him, because I think there are a lot of glaring flaws in THJ's game, and he's not getting any younger.
Daniel,
and the Mavs are in a tough spot, really, as far as a roster construction moving forward. Right. They don't really have many options to go to, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do end up kind of overpaying him.
Yeah, he thinks that THJ's
right now, absolutely. I completely agree with him. Right now, for sure. He has been, he's had to be. But moving forward, I think you have to go in a different direction.
Batum just took about 17 steps after he caught the ball. No dribbles were involved.
That's more
also known as traveling.
Also known as traveling.
Luka with a big and 1 to bring the Mavs within 3.
I mean, who would you pair Luka with in a dream scenario?
Dream scenario.
Because
I've been saying this. And I want to make it public now for everybody in the chat. If the Denver Nuggets do not get over the hump by 2023, you can pretty much book it that Nikola Jokic is coming to the Dallas Mavericks to be with Luka.
Ooh. What if Luka went
to the
Nuggets to be with?
I don't think the Nuggets got the money for that right now. They're pretty much I mean, honestly, they're going to have to make a choice here soon between MPJ and Murray and those three. So God knows with coming off the injury from Murray, which direction they're going to go there. 4-point lead. Paul George catching a little bit of fire right now. 53-49 Clippers here.
The ideal superstar next to Luka is kind of a tough fit. I would say you need a guy that can be, as far as one, I still think in today's NBA, you need it to be a guard or a wing. You need it to be somebody who is going to be the best perimeter defender on your team and can knock down a three. So that's kind of tough, right? Like purely offensively, like Devin Booker would be a great fit, but he's not going to be that defensive guy that you need, right? So it's kind of a tough fit. I mean, honestly, I think you think of somebody like a Kawhi, but how realistic is that? Who knows? I mean, we're talking about free agency. He's going to be a free agent. How about we start hyping that up? Like Kawhi just jumped ship to the Mavs, man.
Knicks.
You can
go to the Knicks.
Mike thinks he's going to the Knicks. I actually think Dame's going to the Knicks, especially with the news today that Jason Kidd does not want to coach in Portland. That's who Dame wanted. So I think
Dame's going to have to force a trade, though, and I'm not sure that he's going to do that.
I saw a scenario today where Paul George would be offered up in a package for CJ McCollum.
Ooh. RKM Sports wants to see Dylan Brooks to the Mavericks.
Dude, I love Dylan Brooks, and I love that move. He'd be a great defensive presence for that team.
Yeah, that'd be a good move. I mean, that's not enough. Don't get me wrong. I think that's a little bit of kind of more the same of what the Mavs have had for a while.
Terrence Mann looks like Klay Thompson out here.
Oh, man, Finney Smith. But, it's a superstar league. Like, realistically, you need 2 top 10 players to win a championship. That's pretty much how it goes.
Wait till you see this tough step back 3 by Luka, dude. Oh, my God.
Well, my man just made a 3. Like, the Mavs, the defense is going to come back to bite them.
This is going to be a high-scoring game.
A step back 3, that was unreal. Mike, you're
just
exactly right.
Posterize Boban, and Boban picks up another foul. I believe that's either his 3rd or his 4th.
Dang, Luka is feeling it in this game.
It's only a 4-point game here. Batum almost put Boban on a poster just now. I mean, Boban is completely lucky. Batum just missed this dunk. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, you can't let Nick Batum do that to you, man. He got him with the body enough just to kind of push him out.
It's a 5-point game here. The way the Mavs are playing, you would expect this to be a bigger lead for the Clippers. They're still hanging around. Luka's keeping them around right now. They need to make a lot of second half adjustments and last 3-minute adjustments here for the last 3 minutes of the second quarter.
Yeah, but Nick, like, what adjustments can they go to right now? Because Previously you would have said, hey, the adjustments on Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard's been really quiet after those first 7 points.
But they at least got to get a hand up on these shots. Terrence Mann was sitting out there for 4 seconds before he took that last 3. Wide
I'm
open.
Completely with you. I'm just saying it's going to be tough. I don't know how many answers you really have when you're getting picked apart by Nick Batum, Marcus Morris Sr., and Terrence Mann. You know what I'm saying? I think the answer, honestly, the realistic answer, Nick, is straight up outscore them. Like the answer is, okay, Luka Doncic, like an efficient 47. Hardaway Jr., get hot, hit 3 threes in that third quarter. I think, honestly, they're going to have to get to 120 to win.
Yep. No, you're right. You're right.
Arcan was saying that he doesn't think that they need 2 top 10 players in 3 years. He said he thinks that the Grizzlies can win a chip because they have higher quantity of good players. I think what he's saying is if you start loading up with a bunch of great players, you don't necessarily need the top 10 players.
It could happen.
I think there's a little bit of truth to that. A little bit of truth to that.
Kind of what's going on with the Suns a little bit.
Yes, but okay, here's the pushback against that, right? I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we've basically seen this play out one time in the last 10 years, and it was actually the Dallas Mavericks team, right? Yep. But outside of that, we haven't seen it done. And the Suns this year, okay, like I'm with it, but the pushback I would have is it's kind of an anomaly year. Like we're seeing a very weird NBA. Right. The Lakers went down. Don't get me wrong. They kicked their butts, but we can't just act like Anthony Davis was straight up out of those games. And then LeBron James was likely hobbled. Like we can't completely forget that. Also, it's just the second round. But this year is lining up. You guys would probably agree with me there. Like if it's not the Nets, then we're going to have a team win without 2 top 10 players. It's going to be, maybe with 2 top 20 players, but not with 2 top 10 players.
I think
I love Chris Paul and his impact.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a situation developing in Atlanta where this can kind of hold to be true. A team can have success with, let's say, a superstar who handles the ball and controls the ball for most of the game, like Trae Young, and a very complete team around him. And that's exactly what Atlanta has found the recipe for success with that nucleus. Miami found it last year with surrounding Jimmy Butler with Bam and Goran Dragic and shooters like Duncan Robinson. And as much as I hate to say his name, Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero played above what I think Tyler Hero is going to continue to be from now on last year on that finals run. I think you're seeing teams built like that can have success in the NBA. Now, when they run into a super team like the Nets, how's it going to look? And we might see that in the NBA Finals this year.
Yeah, what I'm getting it from you guys is yes, it can happen with a bunch of great players versus having superstars, but the stars have to align for it to work out for you. When you have the superstars, you kind of book your ticket to be in contention.
100%. Yeah, like it's not going to happen more times than not. It's going to take a special year. It's likely going to take an injury in your favor. And then not only that, but your role players, even though they are good players, like we saw with the Heat, like they get hot at the right time. That's what we're seeing with the Hawks too. Like, Bogdanovich and Herter, like those guys are getting hot at the right time. You have a bunch of offensive weapons with that potential, but then that timing is really important, which I think exactly kind of how you phrased it. Like the 2 superstar method, let alone 3, is like steady Eddie. You're going to be there when it's all said and done. You're going to be there, likely win, maybe not, but it's more consistent.
Yep. Good stuff. We're back to action here. We're going to finish out this half, but first, all of these instructions. We got 36 people in here. Appreciate all of you.
A shameless plug, Sports Force, every Wednesday. Check it out.
Right here.
Hey, shameless plug. Every Tuesday, check out my NBA show. I bring the Heat into the crosshairs.
I've been putting it in the description, Brian, but maybe you could steal it from me a little bit. It's every sport, every galaxy, every Wednesday night.
Oh. That's money, man. That's money.
Terrence Mann, they're making Terrence Mann beat them, and he's about to give them a 9-point lead here with 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Dallas they're letting this slip away from them a little bit here. They need to go on a little bit of run. They need to find the bucket. They need smarter shots. Again, little pull-ups by Kristaps are not going to cut it.
Yeah. I mean, that last play with Man was a great example of everybody has to crash to the ball. All 5 Mavs players were right there, and they just assumed that there was going to be a foul on the previous play, and Man beats every single one of them back to the ball.
2 ill-advised three-pointers by Tim Hardaway Jr. Back-to-back, misses them both. Now he takes it to the hoop and puts the ball in. See, good things happen when you go to the basket.
I do have to say, I like the first 3 that he took. The second one, I'm with you, but I like the first 3 that he
Paul
took.
George picks up another offensive foul. I believe that's either his second or third of the game. So
which is what you want. He starts making mistakes when you turn him just into a jump shooter. He's really good when he's aggressive.
Kristaps Porzingis with the jam down the lane. 5-point game. Clippers slipping away a little bit here. Dallas chipping away at this lead. Reggie Jackson falls down with the ball. They call a foul. Sorry. Getting exciting here.
By the way, I mean, I know I'm the only one who kind of calls old Kristaps the zinger. Is it not Porzingis? It's Porzingis?
I think it's Porzingis.
I ain't got a clue.
Yeah,
but I like the zinger, so I'm going to stick with the zinger, kind of regardless.
I don't like unicorn anymore because there's nothing special about KP like there is about unicorns. I think that nickname is, run its course. Reggie Jackson heads to the line on a pretty rough foul call. Again, refs. Not really impressing me today. Let's see if the ball don't lie on the first free throw. Nope, knocks it down. 6-point lead for the Clippers. 1:34 left.
That's just defense.
It's a tough call, dude. That's a tough call in Game 7. Come on.
I could not play basketball growing up because
this is not.
That's just defense.
This is not a meaningless. There's not a meaningless second in this game.
Here's the thing. What adjustment not only do these teams make in the second half? I know we aren't quite there, but the refs as well. A lot of times just in these pressure-packed games, we also see that affect the refs. And are they going to all of a sudden just come out the third quarter? They get real touchy. They're calling everything. I just hope we see consistency kind of regardless. I would rather it be a little bit rougher than touchy. But let's keep it consistent from the third to the fourth quarter, because to me, that's where you see a lot of games hinge, is they come out third quarter, they go strong one way, and then the fourth quarter, they kind of flip back. So
5-point game, 1:15 left here. Clippers with the ball. I think the Bucks versus Nets was basically the championship.
RKM thinks that's the championship series right there, whichever team comes out.
Could be some truth to that. Paul George bullying his way to the hoop again. 1 minute left, 7-point lead for the Clippers.
It's a big deal for the Clippers that Paul George remains aggressive. And the Mavs, man, you got to give a lot of credit to Finney Smith right now. He's keeping y'all in it.
Another jumper for Hardaway. He puts it down. 5-point game again. 48 seconds left here.
Let's go.
I mean, they got to step up the defense. They got to step up the defense.
We're going to see a 140 to 140 game.
Reggie Jackson from deep. That's now an 8-point lead for the Clippers. Huge three-pointer for Reggie Jackson there. Nearly from the logo. Good God.
Man. I just saw the jumper from Finney Smith. Or was that Hardaway?
It was Hardaway. This is crazy. You got to step the deep. Get a hand in their face. Stop giving them uncontested shots. You're there. Put your hand up.
The offense from both sides is ridiculous in this first half.
And like the Mavs aren't even playing that great of offense.
No. I mean, it's relative.
It's relative. I mean, but it's not, the Clippers are just insanely efficient right now.
Yeah.
Here's the thing I think is going to play out. I know Luka hasn't taken a ton of shots in this second quarter, but he's having to work a lot and create a lot of offense. Kawhi has been quiet, and I think that's going to prove out like his legs are going to be good to go. He's going to have a strong third quarter again. because they've gotten to 70 with Kawhi Leonard being quiet so far.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Can that continue for an entire second half? I mean, Kawhi has 13 points. Luka has 29 at halftime. Clippers have an 8-point lead.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, Kawhi
Can
Leonard's
that
going to make
continue
his
for
statement.
another half?
No, they're getting to the Clippers are getting to 120. I think that's it. So no matter what, even with a much improved defense, I think it's unrealistic to think that they're going to hold them to 40 points and a half, 45 points and a half. It's pretty wild.
It's just crazy.
So you said Luka has 29? I didn't realize it's quite that much.
What's his assist and rebound?
He's going to have a lot of assists, at least a lot of like hockey type assists. He's been setting literally everything up. And then although their threes haven't gone in every time, the Mavs have done a pretty good job about getting those offensive rebounds. And
29 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds at halftime. He's 10 of 14 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3. They're going to need that and a whole lot more in this second half. But good God, this kid is special.
Yeah, he's on track for 60 and they're losing.
Without
if he puts
Kawhi
up a
Leonard
50
even,
burger, if he puts up a 50 or a double nickel and they lose, you need to overhaul that roster in a way. I mean, that's just crazy. You have to bring in more defensive presence on the perimeter, especially. There's just no defensive presence on the perimeter right now for the Mavericks, and it's killing them.
No doubt. And speaking of, go ahead, Mike.
I was just saying we got 36 people here. Let us know what your guys' thoughts are for this little bit of a halftime show in the chat right now. We can pull you up onto the screen. But go ahead, Brian, with what your thought was.
Well, speaking of this, and we've talked about the Mavs free agency, what could they do? You talk about defense, specifically perimeter defense. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's an area that Hardaway Jr. doesn't help them out. Like, I get he's making shots, but that isn't exactly – you can give up a little bit of shot making for some defense, and that could be a route that they go. Is that the route that you would prefer they go?
Right. I mean, they're doing – Brian, you brought up a good point before, and I want to go back to that one. It was that you're making these other guys beat you. I want to bring my stance out here because holding Kawhi to 13 in the first half is something to talk about. I didn't realize Kawhi was that low. You're making the other guys beat you, and I think they have to continue with that. I think they have to be okay with that moving forward in this one more than anything else. I think I have to give my props to Brian on that.
Hey, you're seeing Morris. Who else? These
Batum.
They're hitting
Reggie
shots.
Jackson hitting big threes. I mean, you can live with those guys beating you over Kawhi and Paul George like last game. It seems like they made the adjustments on him from game 6 to game 7, but now everything else is opening up.
Yeah, man. And that's Nick Mack, everyone that's watching right now, inside the crosshairs here. Into the crosshairs. Joe messed me up with that. Into the crosshairs here on the Warzone Sports Network.
Yes, Tuesday nights, I bring the heat. Make sure to go to any old videos or when you subscribe to the Warzone Sports Network, comment anywhere. This one is for Nick Mack for Tuesday nights. Give me your hot takes. I'm going to be tearing apart one that Brian gave to us earlier about somebody saying Lauri Markkanen is better than Dirk. Wait till you hear what I have to say about that. You see the jersey. I'm a diehard Mavs fan. I ain't letting that one slide, but check it out Tuesday night. I got They Call Me Crafty coming on the show.
They call him Crafty.
He's creative, man. He's got the skits going. He's a Mavs fan as well, so I know you guys are definitely going to be hoping that you could be talking about the second round coming up. But, man, some of that, sometimes I get heated about some of these, takes that I see, but that Markkanen one, honestly, was one that I didn't even get upset with. Like, it was just so crazy that it's just like it just went right off. Like, that was insane.
Yeah, I mean, just knowing that, but here's the thing, and this is what gets me. It's not so necessarily the take itself, but the reaction to the take is that these people have a big platform and they spit this BS and it gets sponged up by people who don't know any better or who might be new to the game or might be young and weren't alive to see those kinds of things like I was. And that's what gets me mad because they start believing this stuff. And it's just simply not true. There has never been a point in life where Lauri Markkanen was better than Dirk Nowitzki. I'd take Dirk now, old and retired, over current Lauri Markkanen. That's how bad Lauri Markkanen is.
Come on, man. Come on. You're just matching crazy with crazy. Come on. This is where we have to take the higher road and be like, all right.
Hold on.
Currently,
let's do this.
Markkanen is better than Dirk today. But no, not peaks. Not even close. I mean, I don't know. People are getting out of hand, man.
I do appreciate you bringing on some of the TikTok guests, though, Mac. It creates an interesting conversation when you have a person that is so young and that has a different mindset than you do. When you guys,
I think Dirk could put up 13 and 5 in today's game for sure. That's what Markkanen put in, and less than 1 assist per game. I definitely think Dirk could put up those numbers for sure.
I don't know, man. I think he'd be slower than Boban out there right now.
Boban.
I was just going to say, they got Boban out there. At least Dirk's got a jump shot. Park him at the perimeter. Gives you 5 threes a game. You're good.
Hey, he could still shoot. The thing would be defense for all these old guys. The thing is the defense.
Hey, you can shoot till death.
Listen, Dirk was never like any kind of defensive wizard. Let's be honest here, right?
Agreed. But it's different. And I do think it's going to come back to bite the Hawks with Trae Young. Not this series, because the Sixers have some major flaws. But specifically, perimeter scoring isn't exactly their thing. But it's going to come back to bite the Hawks when Trae Young is an absolute defensive liability. I love what he's done with his game. I love the chip that he plays with on his shoulder. He's come a long way in a short amount of time. But like Kyrie Irving will destroy him. James Harden, that is over.
Yeah, but where I see
Atlanta
anybody having an advantage over the Nets is guys like Capella down low, John Collins. They can match shooters. Joe Harris, we know, is a great shooter. Mike James and Bruce Brown have been playing great for Brooklyn, but I think Bogey and Huerter can match that energy, man. What really impressed me about the Nets is their transition. Their transition game's impeccable. Impeccable.
No doubt. I just think at the end of the day, kind of going back to our previous conversation, right? Like, yeah, Collins and Capella, that's an advantage. That does not overcome Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and especially a healthy James Harden. Like, it's just not.
I agree with you. It's just I got to play devil's advocate because it's just so boring to say, yep, the Nets are going to run through everybody because they got KD, Kyrie,
no doubt,
and Harden. But, like, Harden came up hobbled. We don't know the extent of that. I don't know if we've gotten MRI results yet.
I don't think so.
I don't believe that's been released. But, like, even how good they looked without him. And he went down in the first minute.
Well, the key is the X factor is Blake Griffin, who I kind of trashed that acquisition. And so I love it when people go back to my videos from like 4 months ago and like, hey, how you feeling now? And I'm like, hey, I'm good. How are you? But hey, you got to give credit to him, at least in that game 1 against the Bucks. Not even the numbers. I mean, I think he had 18 and 14, which is awesome. But just gritty play. Like, I love to see that.
Unreal.
Like, that's one of the things I respect the most for a star to then be able to be like, no, I'm a gritty player. Like, I'm going to do the dirty stuff to win. I respect that completely. Yeah, so, Blake Griffin, man, I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, he wasn't that guy in LA. And to see that, like, I'm going to dive on the floor with Bobby Portis, and then I'm going to say something to him on the way up. That was not the Blake Griffin we're used to, especially the one we saw in Detroit. God, that Blake Griffin was just checked out completely. And he bamboozled all of us completely. You know what I mean? But I do want to announce that it did just come across Bleacher Report. James Harden is officially out for Game 2.
Uh-oh. There you go. You go. You guys want to take a halftime break?
Just a quick 5-minute break, and we'll be back. Please, nobody go anywhere. We're going to bring you a crazy second half. I'm going to be going nuts. This isn't the first half. Now it's down to the nitty-gritty here, and let's go. Bring in the energy.
All right, sounds good, guys. We'll be back for the start of the third quarter. Brian, you got something?
No, we're good.
Thought you were ready to go. I do love the old comments, by the way, Brian.
Okay, can I
comments to see how they age?
Yeah, no doubt. I love it, man. I love the interaction. I had a video about NBA trade value, which I think I enjoyed those kind of conversations. And I mentioned LeBron was still in my top 5, and I added, I'm a Lakers fan. I was like, and he's going to take the Lakers to another championship this year. And so that video is getting a little more buzz. Oh, how's that? That didn't age well. Like, all right, user with 17 numbers.
Listen, listen, whatever comments you got, I got thick skin.
No doubt.
Bring them to me, bro. Bring them. I need hot takes to destroy. So if you have a hot take like one I saw today, that KG should be ranked higher than Karl Malone and Dirk, please bring it to me. I don't want to keep finding these takes.
Well, hold on. Kevin Garnett over Karl Malone and Dirk. That's not crazy.
I think
that's not crazy.
I think that's a little crazy.
I mean, I think Malone and Dirk's probably over them, but honestly, where do all those guys rank? 15 to
well, Dirk and KG is closer than Karl Malone and them. I think.
Boo! I'm not booing you. I'm booing Joe. Boo!
I thought you were booing me bringing up Karl Malone.
No. Well, hey, I will boo Karl Malone.
I will boo Karl Malone.
We don't need to go down that rabbit hole. Yeah. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole, but yeah.
We all know Karl Malone's a scumbag. I'm just going to come out and say it. Karl Malone's a scumbag. But before we knew he was a scumbag, he played basketball. So that's what we were talking about.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, Joe Morley? Welcome
NBA
to the
basketball hunt. Clippers, Mavericks, 2 of the worst teams in the NBA going at it in Game 7. Wow. You wonder why it goes to Game 7 because you suck, you go to Game 7.
Wow.
When the series sucks, you go to Game 7.
I have to hop out for a minute here, by the way.
Joe,
what?
Here you come.
I'm just coming in here, letting you guys know that we're watching the Clippers and the Mavericks. The Clippers and the Mavericks, 2 teams that couldn't get it done, and didn't the Mavericks have like a 2-0 lead on this, and then the Clippers came back, and now it's going to and we're bumping this up. Come on, guys. Let me know.
It was looking real gloomy for the Clippers when they went down 2-0, but they responded very well. They've been winning the series since that 2-0 deficit. They just got to cap this game off. They're playing good in this game, too.
How do people come on here and go, Kawhi is one of the best players in the league? Yeah, maybe, but if you're the best player in the league, you would have shut this series down already, right? This is the first round, right? This is who the Clippers wanted to play, right? The Clippers said, we're going to lose some games at the end of the year because we want to play the Dallas Mavericks because that's going to be the easier first round opponent for us. And now you're in where? Now you're in Game 7 fighting for your damn life, and you're come on, man. Kawhi Leonard is overrated. I'm saying it right now on the air. He's overrated. Wish that he can go to any team that you want him to go to, but he's playing in Game 7 of the first round. That they chose their opponent. The Clippers picked who they wanted to play, Mike, and they're here in Game 7. Come on.
You sound heated, man. So right off the back of that Kawhi rant, who would you take, Luka Doncic or Kawhi Leonard?
I'm taking Luka all day. All day. Put Luka on any other team. You probably go right past this first round. Probably swept the Clippers.
Right now, right this second, I honestly probably would take Kawhi very slightly. But if this is what Luka's doing in his early years, I am terrified for his prime. This man is going to be a beast when he hits his prime years.
Woo! I'm letting you guys know. Come on, guys. If you guys are watching this right now, there's a bunch of you guys out there watching. Let us know what's going to happen in the second half. I have a feeling the Clippers are going to do Clipper stuff, and they're done. The Clippers, hey, LeBron's gone. And now Leonard's going to be out of here. Come on. Get on out, LA. You're not winning a championship this year. It's going to be we already know. You already know who I'm riding with. I'm riding with the Phoenix Suns this year. I saw a lot of people in the chat riding with the Utah Jazz. Jazz hands. Get your Jazz hands. Do something. But this game right here. What's up, Brian? Just letting people know that it's not that great, right?
Hey, I'm with you. The paper clips, they're going to fold in this second half. Don't get excited, Clippers. This ain't your time. And I love you adding the context. Like, this is the first round. I already know I'm going to catch so much heat, which is cool. I'm here for it if the paper clips win. But, like, it's just a first-round series.
Yeah,
and you have Kawhi
round.
Leonard and Paul George. And I remember when that signing went down, and it was like the old LeBron with the Heat. Like, how many championships are we going to win? Not one, not two, not three, not four, not five. Like, it went on. Like, that's what Clipper fans were doing. And now they're getting hyped up about playing a Game 7 in the first round. There's the potential of Kawhi leaving, Paul George getting traded. I love to see it, man. I'm here for it all. By the way, go ahead, Joe.
Paul George, right? Kawhi picked Paul George to come with them, and it's not working out as well as they thought, right? Paul George is still the sorry player, not showing up in the playoffs like he was supposed to. So Paul George, boy, has he fallen, right?
No doubt. I mean, he's been great at times in the regular season for the past probably 3 years, honestly. He's been really good in the regular season, but he's just not at that level. Like, and a trade that I would be interested in seeing the Clippers do is Paul George for Damian Lillard. And I understand it'd probably take more than Paul George, but like, make something happen. Paul George would obviously have to be a part of that for Damian Lillard. Like, I would love to see that. I see Boban with the 2. I see 6-point lead by the Clippers. So
3-point lead now. Dorian Finney-Smith hits a 3. 70-67. Good start to the third for the Mavs.
No doubt.
Can't let Kawhi get small little.
Second half underway, guys. Second half underway. Let us know who's taking it. Are the Mavs coming back? Are the Clippers going to blow it? You got 22 years of fandom right here with Nick Mack watching his team in the first round go to Game 7 and possibly blow it to the Los Angeles Clippers.
Well, we got our first time out. We got the first time out of the second half.
Hardaway Jr.
Yep, 72-70 game now. A nice little start to the third for the Mavs. And this is how they have to play. If you remember in Game 3, they came out in the first quarter and outscored them 30-11 in the first, 7 minutes. And they still blew that lead. But they need to keep this pace and, force these quick, dumb shots from the Clippers as they have started to do here. And we can do this.
Yeah, I mean, the one worry would be Kawhi just got to his mid-range pull-up. That looked good. They're going to have a tough time stopping that. I still believe they have to run him to the basket and let Boban pick up fouls. The question is, how much do you balance that versus needing Boban on offense? Because he has been key for their offense, right? But, Nick, I'm interested in hearing your take on this. We were talking about some hypotheticals, the potential of the whole Clippers thing being completely blown up. But let's say Kawhi comes back, but they're at a point where, all right, we have to move on from Paul George. I mentioned I'd like to see, not as a Lakers fan, but as a basketball fan, them look to trade Paul George for Damian Lillard. And I understand it would probably take more than just Paul George. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But do you think that's fairly realistic? And do you think that that would be a good fit?
Got to root for your own team.
When I saw, that's crazy. Damon on the Clippers, that would be a movie. It would be perfect for LA because it would be a movie. Now, as for, I saw a package for Paul George for CJ McCollum and more, obviously, that threw me off. So Paul George on Portland with Dame, that makes things interesting over there. I think Portland needs to do more than that, though. And I think the Clippers would need more than just a Dame Lillard to get over the hump as well. I do.
I'm telling you, you have Kawhi and Dame Lillard. That's enough. You're actually forget all the Clippers hype we've had over the past couple seasons.
Yeah, but they're
with those two. You're actually, but still with those two, you are a legitimate, you're a top 4 contender in the league. I don't care.
It's one of the best duos in basketball. It's up there. Are LeBron and AD 100% healthy in this scenario? Where would we rank that duo? It comes down to a lot, but it would definitely be one of the top duos out there for sure.
Yeah, I think it would have to be top 3, right? Probably top 3.
You guys see the question on the screen? If the Mavs win this game, do they beat the Jazz?
Yeah, I think so.
Ryan
I think so. I know Nick thinks differently, but yeah, they're going to take down the Jazz. The Jazz are not going to be able to hang with Luka. I don't think they have the defenders for him. And I think the Mavs can do enough to expose Rudy Gobert. I think they take him out of it, or they can go big. And now you're giving Boban on him all the time. You're bringing him up to the high post. I like it.
Look, do you guys want me to be biased or do you want me to be like real here? Because if I'm biased, I'm going to be rooting out of my chest for the Mavericks. Am I going to believe, like with everything I got, that they can beat them? Yes. Now, realistically, do I see a lot of mismatches and a lot of problems for Dallas? Also, overwhelmingly, yes. And I would think, just like I thought coming in this series, that we were going to have a ton of problems. And I didn't think we'd be seeing a Game 7. I didn't think we'd be seeing a Game 7 in this series until I started seeing how Luka played and how this team was hitting their shots.
Yeah, I mean, the wild card for the Jazz, and not X factor, it's wild card, is the explosions that we can see out of Donovan Mitchell. Like, he can go and get you 50, and it wouldn't shock you, right? That's kind of their trump card, if you will. Like, Donovan Mitchell can just take it with the rest of those role players, like you mentioned. Like, they have the better role players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Again,
I think Luka's the best player, but Donovan Mitchell has those games where, for a game at least, it looks like he might be the best player in the world.
Did you guys? I know you guys are talking about best players right now. Did you see this one earlier? Who are you going to take, Luka or Kawhi right now? Right now,
I'm taking Luka.
You had to take one.
I'm taking Luka.
Is this for the future or this is for the moment?
Like right now, if you had to pick one player right now,
I'm taking Luka.
I would take Luka, but I can't lie. I'm a little biased, and I would take him for some of the intangibles. But we actually talked about this a little bit. Like Game 6, Kawhi, it was like somebody asked him that question, and Kawhi like put his stamp all over that in Game 6 and was like, Luka's a good young star, but don't get this twisted. Like, I'm the one going for 45 on 18 to 25. Like, he was 18 to 25. The rest of his team was 18 for 52. Like, he put the team on his back.
Wow. It's been a crazy series to watch because it's just overwhelming. It's overwhelming. As Luka hits another step back elbow jumper, tie ball game, 74-74. Let's go, Luka. Let's go. Take overtime.
You're so far ahead of me. Joe, are you with Nick or are you behind with me? There's the follow away.
For TV purposes and for the YouTube fans that are out there, I'm just going off of what we're showing. I don't have it up anywhere else, so I'll go along with you, I guess. I'm right here.
Two good looks for the Mavs from 3, and they miss them both.
Boban with the block.
The Mavs suck, and they will let you down. That's what it says. Randy
Pepperton. Pepperton's my biggest fan. I know he watches all my shows. He'll make sure to leave a comment. I know Pepperton's got big
Morris with a tough move. The Clippers take a 2-point lead. How many people we got in with here with us, Joe?
We got over 30 something. Oh, that's just on. Yeah, we're rocking right now. We got a lot of people. If you guys are watching us, please hit that like.
Let's go, Matt.
We got Mac Daddy, the lifetime Mavs fan, 22 years in the making. First round of the NBA playoffs. Clippers chose it. Basically, the Clippers came out and said, we want the Mavericks because we know we can beat them. Now they're sitting in a Game 7. You guys, we also have NBA Into the Crosshairs every Tuesday night with Mac Daddy. Make sure you guys are watching that. Make sure you guys are subscribed because it's going off. Kawhi Leonard, the so-called one of the best players in the league, wanted to go to Game 7, and come on. He's going to get knocked out by Luka today.
Man, Luka's already got 31 on 11 for 16. Like, this is all you could ask for, man.
This was an unbelievable response from the Mavericks to come out the third quarter. 4.5 minutes into the third quarter here and respond this way, tie the game up at 76, outscore the Clippers by 8. I mean, they were down by 8 at halftime and they come back and do this. This is a great way to come out. They need to keep it going and not let Kawhi get the mid-range shot, even though he missed it.
No, I don't think the Lakers have enough other than Kawhi to take it. They're done. This is over with. I'm out of here, guys. Continue the great show. I already told you Leonard's overrated. Mavs are taking this one. See you guys in the second round.
See, there's a problem on this last sequence here. Even though the Mavs got the foul and they got the ball, there's no reason that Nick Batum should be out rebounding and getting up higher than Boban right now. Let's go. Finney Smith for 3-point lead for the Mavs. 7 minutes to go here in the third. Let's go.
Yeah, we've been talking about it, and the Mavs have been excelling in this playoffs in general, the whole series, and in this game even. They're keeping up.
No doubt. I mean, Luka, it's I don't know how many times we want to say it, but like it is truly impressive the way he is orchestrating things out there.
5-point lead for the Mavs. KP with another bucket.
The Clippers starting to clip.
They're starting to clip.
Morris just hits another 3, though, and it's back down to a 2-point game. Mavericks have the ball. Morris is shooting well from the outside today, even though with hands in his face. They have been getting hands in his face, for the better part of the second half, and he's still knocking them down. So credit to him.
4 threes. He's got 4 or 5 from 3. That's as good as you could ask if you're a Clippers fan.
Luka,
if I'm a Mavs fan, I'm daring him to do it. I'm saying you can't hit 5.
Paul George was a missed layup.
Pandemic P has returned.
Way off P.
He's getting to the line. Clippers down by 2 with 6 minutes to go here in the third. I think the Mavs, once they need to slow down a little bit. They're getting ahead of themselves. Paul George, 4 for 10 from the field. However, 13 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds.
He's being aggressive, though.
Yeah.
He's playing better than the 4 for 10 looks. The question is going to be, does he tighten up?
It's the first.
We see him do. You know what I'm saying? We see him tighten up in the fourth quarter. Is he going to continue to be aggressive? This is good enough if they're getting this out of him. As long as he keeps it up. Kawhi's, he's going to come in and hit his shots. I just think the guys like Morris, Reggie Jackson are going to fade towards the end.
Morris, he's found his stroke so far here. Reggie Jackson heads to the bench, which I think probably means they bring in Rondo here. So a tie ball game here, 6:09 left in the third. Listen, the Mavs with a great response coming out to start in the second half here, down by 8, and now a tie ball game. It's been huge.
Tony's in the chat. Loves to see you passionate, Nick. That's what he's saying.
Shout out Tony Tucker. The man that usually hosts all these lives. Listen, the Mavs just
not
need to
everyone.
calm down.
Not everyone can be as good as Tony Tucker, but we're giving her our best shot.
Luka off from 3. Clippers here in transition with the ball. Kawhi just put Kristaps on a poster.
Welcome to the Army. Welcome to the Army, Leroy. And he's here to stay. And he said that the other streamers are trash.
That's because no one knows ball like me and Brian, bruh. Come on.
Hey, that's right, man. You're at the right place. Appreciate the respect. The claw with the dunk.
Check out some of the shows.
Boban misses 2 volleyball layups. Absolutely ridiculous.
You good, Sean?
Yeah, I just saw the Kawhi dunk. Nasty.
Morris just hit his 5th 3 of the contest. The Mavs are now down by 5 with 5 minutes left in the third. Timeout, Carlisle. Good time to call a timeout. Great response from the Clippers to not fold under the pressure there with the Mavs. With a chance, they just had to lead the Mavericks. So
they withstood the run, and Morris with another 3, man. That's mind blowing. That he's 5 for 6 for 3.
Unbelievable.
Like there's no way that keeps happening, and not to go back and put you, through that pain again. But Boban literally needed to tap the ball about 3 inches and was only able to tap it 1.
He tapped it twice. I don't even want to go there right now. It's not volleyball, Boban. Catch the ball, hit a freaking layup. It's literally all you do is layups and stand around the hoop.
Honestly, what he does better is pass from the high post. I'd like to see him get back to that a little bit, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, but I don't think he really expected Luka to miss that floater there. Luka's actually missed a couple of shots pretty badly here.
No doubt.
How many people we got in here, Mike? Little check.
I'll give you a updated standings. We have 2 from Twitch, 35 from YouTube, and 3 from Twitter.
Wow. What's going on, everybody?
It's been great. It's been a great stream. It's been one of our most successful, most fun streams we've had.
Well, this is Game 7 with a Mavs fan.
Exactly.
With the knowledge of Brian Bolster and the charisma of Mike on the mic.
And the bad hair day. Mike.
And I tell you what, everybody watching right now, you better hope for another Game 7 somewhere throughout these playoffs because we'll be bringing it to you right here again.
I think in round 2, we're going to be doing Game 6s for sure. If it's an elimination game, well, I guess Game 6s are going to be an elimination game for one team. So definitely subscribe. Definitely hang around. Be a part of the channel. You're going to be a part of something special. I mean, really, those are new to the Warzone Sports Network. We're just a group of guys. We love sports. We love talking about sports, and we're all going in the same direction. So we have a bunch of fun doing it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Without a doubt. See, here's the question. I think this is going to determine a lot of what comes down to the end, other than the obvious stars. We've got Marcus Morris Sr., 5 of 6 from 3, and we've got for the Mavs Hardaway 1 for 8, and the Zinger 0 for 4 from 3. Which is more likely to continue? Right? Are we going to see one flip? I think we see it flip. I think Hardaway's going to hit a couple big ones here. I'm not sure about the Zinger. Unfortunately, I'm not feeling the Zinger anymore.
I have to say, the person who said "Let's go Clippers" for the next 15 minutes, I don't really mess with you, but I hope to see you around after that.
There has been a lot more Mavs love than Clippers love in the comment section. I thought that was a little bit interesting. Seems like, as a whole, the NBA fan bases are probably rooting for the Mavs.
Well, yeah, Mike, there aren't Clipper fans, man. It's like a ghost town of a fan base. They don't have fans.
You know, the arena looks a little full tonight, though. Definitely does. Well,
Well, it's LA. It's a thing to go to, right? Like Bill Simmons famously.
It's the best thing.
He's been a season ticket holder for the Clippers for like 20 years. It's because he says at the time because he couldn't afford Lakers season tickets. It's probably not true. He also has a massive hatred for the Lakers. So he loves being a part of kind of the Clippers and the Celtics, right?
Listen, we all know what the 2 greatest words in sports are. Game 7.
Super Bowl? No.
I don't know. I mean, yeah.
I think
Game 7's awesome.
He's back from the basketball arena in Tel Aviv. I think that's a typo. But welcome to the channel, man. It's Twitch. You want to drop
Tel Aviv? I don't think that's a typo.
Ooh, Kawhi with a big block on Finney-Smith. Huge block. The claw coming in the clutch.
The Zinger's got to step up, man. He's getting put in spots where he's got to be able to put the ball in, and he's getting a little gun shy. I guess being 0 for 4.
Joe, little Lakers hate comment in here because LeBron let us down. I will say, a few years ago, I got the opportunity. I got a free ticket to go to a Jazz versus Clippers playoff game, right? And I went in there being a Lakers fan in all like green, all Jazz colors. And I was thinking I was going to be an anomaly in there. No, it was a lot of Jazz fans at home.
The Mavs are just getting dominated on the boards, both ends.
Physically, it's coming down to physicality. Wow.
Jesus, Luka with a terrible turnover again here. Man on the fast break. Clippers slow it down a little bit. Kawhi gets fouled. Still a 5-point lead here. Not very fun here. Not a fun end of the third quarter. The Mavs came out blazing. Clippers withstood it. Now they're going on a little run here. They're getting the easier, better shots.
It's just a game of runs. They'll be fine. Oh man, I really thought we were about to see a poster there from Kawhi.
I did too. That's why I went.
That was like full head of steam. Kawhi from like 2 years ago, I think maybe gets that one done.
So it's a 6-point lead here for the Clippers. 3.5 minutes to go. Game 7. I'm not feeling great. I'm not completely, heartbroken yet. But, the Mavs, they got to stop with the dumb turnovers. They're getting panicky with the ball again here. Luka, showing his inexperience a little bit and his youth.
Randy is coming at you, Nick.
Well, my name is not Knock, so if you could spell my name, I'd be a little more offended.
Yeah, man.
At
I just think
at least I could spell.
Yeah, I think it's just a thing with Luka trying to do too much.
Luka gets a bucket, 5-point game.
I think that's where a lot of his turnovers come from because
right.
I think at times feels like he can't trust his teammates. He's been setting them up a lot, and a guy like, again, the Zinger, he's just not taking the shots. So eventually you feel like, well, I've got to do it all. And, hey, we got to say not just that two that he just got, the footwork on that, unbelievable. Unbelievable. He made like 4 different moves. That was pretty good. Ended it with the up and under.
Luka gets another move to the basket. He gets fouled on his way. Kawhi with an open mid-range misses. It's worth noting that since the first quarter, Kawhi has only put in 6 points since the end of the first quarter. So
sick burn from Randy here. He got you on that one, Nick.
Spell this. Mavs suck. I love you, Randy.
Holster, would you trade LeBron for Kawhi?
Nah, I love Kawhi. Great player, but I'm not interested in a robot. So I'm a pass. I'll take LeBron for, I still think he's got 2 really good years.
When they look back on this series, a big story, and I'll do it. If the Mavs end up losing this series, and I'll be putting out a piece on it, Luka missing his foul shots has to be a bigger story. He just missed both of them at the line there.
Got some more Clippers support showing up. They're rolling in. George Garza, appreciate you for joining the stream, man. Drop a sub.
Morris just hit his 6th 3 of the game. They are now up by 8 with 2.5 to go here in the third.
Oh.
That's crazy, man. Luka's missing the free throws. That's going to kill him.
Why are they calling you Mac Poppy, huh? Mac Daddy?
Mac Poppy. Leroy Armstrong. I would wear a Clippers jersey. Oh, man. These people don't know me. I'd rock a Clippers jersey. Just give me a week.
Just need a week off?
Just as long as it's like.
Wow.
Give me a throwback. Give me an Elton Brand jersey. Give me the real Clippers.
You're going to get suspended for some of this stuff.
Corey Maggette.
Give me the Corey Maggette throwback. The Karan Butler.
There you go. Man, I can't believe Luka's all of a sudden missing his free throws. That's not really something that we see from him.
No, to shoot, was he 40% in the playoffs so far?
I think he's about 50% this
that's
playoffs.
Terrible.
It's 25% below his average.
It's not good.
Is that the other Morris twin that they were showing?
Trey Burke off mark with a layup. This is a big possession for
game after losing with the Lakers.
Big possession for the Clippers. Terrence Mann for 3. Air ball. Kawhi gets the board. Rebound and 1. No good. 10-point lead for the Clippers with 2 minutes left in the third. Chance to make it 11. The Mavs have to step it up or the Clippers can run away with this right here, right now.
Well, they just need to go on just a couple possession run to close out this third. Kind of survive.
No one put a body
get
on
it
Kawhi.
to 6 points.
And they want it more. The Clippers want it more. And I don't know how that was a foul, but that is one of the worst foul calls I think I've ever seen. He didn't even get touched on the layup. That's ridiculous.
Not at all. He didn't.
How do you get an end one on that? And he hits the free throw.
Yeah, it seemed like more of a foul on the rebound.
Clippers by 11 here. This is not good. The Mavs need to close out the quarter strong here or get away from him really quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's times like this where Luka's got to step up. Like, I know he's played a great game.
Trey Burke's just throwing the ball at the rim at this point.
For your team, like, you can't have a 4-point third quarter. Doesn't matter that you have 33 right now. Can't happen. He's just gone a little bit cold. And the expectations, or the level required for them to win is just got to be basically perfection.
We're under a minute and a half here. Clippers up by 11.
We got some NBA fans from Europe in the chat. That's cool.
Let's go.
The EuroLeague
is Kleber way off from 3. Go ahead.
Sorry. In the world. And the fans in Europe are completely crazy compared to the NBA.
Hey, it goes that way for soccer, for football. football, as you say, as well. So.
I guess LeBron James is the GOAT. Show respect. Yeah, Randy and Joe.
Man.
14-point Clippers lead with less than a minute left in the third.
Yeah, the Mavericks are falling apart here at the end of the third quarter.
Their offense is faded and their defense. They had played a pretty good defensive quarter, and they started really well offensively, and then just haven't scored any more points. 14. Damn.
Can everybody see why I said the Mavs? This is a shock to me that we're even in a Game 7 in the first round. This is the Mavericks I know.
Oh, don't lose hope. Come on, man. This is the paper clips.
Exactly.
This is the paper clips.
Hey, I know. I'm just saying. I've been saying it all live stream that I'm shocked that we're in a Game 7 situation. If you remember, for Warzone, being a Mavs fan, I even picked the Clippers in 6 games. So, there you go.
Yeah, man. Hey,
Brian,
you just got to get it to 10.
Quick response to this comment, Brian. You got 30 seconds.
Yeah, let's go. Titans to the Super Bowl, man. We've had a top 5 offense the past 2 years. We're going to have a top 3 offense this year. The defense is going to be a little bit better. I mean, Julio's the perfect fit scheme-wise. And him and A.J. Brown, I think, are the best wide receiver duo in the entire league. I'm taking those two right now. Speed, run after the catch, physical freak. They bring physicality. Let's go, man. We've got Julio Jones, A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry. Let's go. Tannehill's going to look like he's going to have another top 10 season. Titans, let's go.
All right, click. 30 seconds are up. Back to Nick Max Mavs. I subbed to Gaming Metro 119, so that's 2 shout-outs in 1 shout-out. Said that they always go bad in the third quarter.
Yeah, he's right. He's right.
Yep.
Luka gets a quick bucket. Now it's back down to a 12-point game. He's got 35 points and 12 assists. I mean, the other guys just got to step up for him. They need to take some of the pressure off of him here. And it's just not happening tonight. Kennard for 3 again, and he hits it in Brunson's face. And it's now a 15-point lead for the Clippers. Fuck. Sorry.
You're good, man. We'll bleep it out in the post-edit. I'm kidding.
We are getting outscored on the bench 25-4. Like I said, our bench is just...
Well, it's not even just the bench, man. You've got Zinger and Hardaway giving you nothing right now. Nothing.
100 points in 3 quarters for the Clippers.
I told you, the defensive woes of the Mavericks are glaring here yet again. No energy. They're getting beasted on the boards and in the paint. They are just letting the Clippers get second and third chances and just getting it's much more physical. I'm talking Luka Doncic.
3/4 court heave almost went in.
And he almost got a foul on the shot.
Yeah.
How many people we got in here, guys?
We have 47 people in here. Be sure to drop a like.
Let's go!
Thank you guys for all joining this live stream. We're about to enter this 4th quarter. And I think the Mavericks can get back into it, but Luka's got to trigger some different kind of mode that he can go to every once in a while.
He needs to go God mode again.
Yeah.
He needs to go God mode like he went, when he went out for 44 and just in all their wins. He needs to go God mode for this 4th quarter. Now, historically and statistically speaking, this series the 4th quarter has been his worst quarter, period. With the 3rd quarter, as we just saw, being his 2nd worst quarter. So that cannot happen here tonight.
I don't think that's any mistake or any fluke. I mean, I think that's purely the load that he has to carry. He fatigues towards the end. I think that's what we saw from him in that 3rd quarter. And I mean, I think you're going to need
champion gear.
No doubt. I think you're going to need a 15-point quarter out of Luka, but you have to get at least probably 5 threes from your role players. You got
Andy
to.
Parker nailed it. Andy Parker just nailed it. Thank you for that comment, Andy. It's time to stop asking what Luka can't do, but what the others can do for this team. And that is completely correct. The other guys need to step up. The only one creating shots is Luka, whether it's for himself or the others on this team. No one else is stepping up. They have Porzingis out on the wing on the perimeter, and he does nothing. He dribbles the ball 2 times, picks up his dribble, and completely throws off the rhythm of the offense every single time he touches the ball on the perimeter. Dorian Finney-Smith, it's the same thing every time. If he's not wide open, it's a pump fake and a drive to the hoop, and then he leaves his feet and doesn't know what to do with the ball and throws away a turnover. Again, I'll say it. Luka has made a couple turnovers this game that are just inexperience-based, and they've been terrible. I mean, but the others do need to step up. It's what it's been like in all their losses this series and through 3 quarters today.
Andy Parker, president, Nick Mack as his vice president. Let's put it up there right now.
I don't want to go. I'll never be in politics. I'm sorry.
I mean, to me, it's like the rhythm is one of those things that is a bit inexplainable, right? But like they had rhythm in the first quarter because some of their role players were hitting shots, right? And I always equate things to football, right? So like the best way to be a good third down team is what people talk about all the time, third down offense, is to be really good on first down. Like it's really just that simple, right? When you're good on first down, okay, all of a sudden you have rhythm because you have options available to you. It's the same thing on the basketball court. That's the reason everything kind of came to a halt there. You don't have any rhythm when all of a sudden you aren't hitting shots. Then your guys lose confidence. So now the ball isn't swinging. Now they're pump faking and trying to drive just into the teeth of the defense over and over. And then that culminates in all the pressure being on Luka trying to go 1-on-5.
Absolutely. I think after this game, if the Mavs can't pull off this comeback as Tim Hardaway Jr. gets stripped and Kawhi is out on a fast break, he gets fouled to start the 4th quarter. Not a good start. But we have to blow this up. Maxi Kleber has taken one shot attempt today. 1 shot attempt. He's got to go. He's got to go. We could spend $15 million wisely somewhere else. He's got to go. Do what you can to get Porzingis out of there. We don't need 7-foot shooting guards who aren't even that great of shooters.
That's the thing. And, speaking of spending money and whatnot again.
Mavericks get out-rebounded and they let Luke Kennard get an easy layup. This is absolutely ridiculous.
You should try this out, Nick.
Punching the air is a stress reliever. It's also a good way to throw out your shoulder. I've done it before.
Oh, man.
So not good. Porzingis from deep 3. Terrible. Of course. Brunson with an easy layup. I mean, it's just crazy that Luke Kennard gets a free lane to the hoop like that. I mean, Porzingis is he's not anything that resembles an interior presence. He's nowhere to be found. He's out on the elbow when Kawhi's driving to the hoop, and he's the fucking tallest guy out there. Sorry again.
He's a perimeter player, just when it comes down to it. He's a perimeter player, and you aren't getting any shot making out of him. And then Hardaway has been non-existent, man, other than just getting ripped.
Sorry.
Well, they're in a bind now, Mac, because they feel like they can't run with Boban right now. Right? So they're trying to get more spacing. Now Luke is going to force one up, right? Like it's all bad. It's all bad right now. They need a live turnover. They need to get a couple transition points again, like we talk about, to get that rhythm.
They really do. It's not good right now at all. Kleba for 3. Stop the bleeding! Somebody hit something. This is awful. They are 8 for 31 from 3 as the Clippers are now 16 for 32. That is not...
It's tough. It's tough. Just to watch this at the end.
Everyone not named Luka. Everyone not named Luka is available in trade talks. And Hardaway misses a 3, doesn't follow his shot. You know, the basics they don't teach in the NBA anymore. Follow your shot. He could have had an easy offensive layup instead. Oh, Morris, you just take it. You go ahead. We're already getting our asses kicked. I'm done. Give me my contract in the offseason. Holy shit.
It is breaking down. It's breaking down. We're getting there, though. It's not completely over, Nick. It could turn around, but I think you need to think about
follow your shot. I learned that when I was playing PAL when I was 8 years old. Follow your shot. Nobody in the NBA does it.
It's definitely on the brink of, kind of being closed door on this situation. It's got to come down to your defense creating offense for you right now. And their defense hasn't even been able to just get any decent stops.
It's
hard to see that elevation.
Just unbelievable. Yeah. They ran out of gas.
Yep,
They're completely out of gas.
That's what Kellen just said. They look
You're right, Kellen. On the money. They're absolutely gassed. It's a 19-point game with just over 9 minutes left. They need a miracle right now. Randy, I'm not gonna cry. I'm grown, dude. I'm not. I'm not a Curry or Bron sexual. I'm okay. I promise.
Shrapnel is just flying. But man, I'm telling you, like Luka, I think he's like 1 for his last, 5 or 6. Hopefully he turns it around. But I have a feeling, with the way his teammates are playing, being down 19, we might see Luka jack up about 10 more shots in this quarter.
I don't even think that helps, man. You need way more than that. This is just, oh my God. You're watching the Looney Tunes versus the Tiny Tunes here. It's just absolutely a masterclass of what not to do in a game 7.
Victor wants to save this. Save this for everyone. Cheers from Spain. Cheers to you.
We are all over the world. Germany, Spain.
More viewers. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Please sub. We need you guys in these chats for every stream. We have 40 people in the stream right now. YouTube.
I saw DPG Vivid give us a shout out. He's watching us at work.
Here's his
funny as hell. Dude, and the ball gets tipped in the air and there's just no sense of urgency to chase the ball. Now Boban fouls Kawhi. He gets the end one. This is a 21-point game. This game, shut it down. The game's over. All the momentum. Shut it down, dude.
The Zinger hit a jump shot. Too bad it,
awesome.
Didn't count.
Awesome. Where was this in any of the other games at home? We lost 3 games. I'm not even looking at this game. We lost 3 games at home. Again, and one of which we had a 19-point lead and blew it. Where was it then? When Luka was doing everything. It's just unreal.
How are they calling that an and one, though? That's awful.
Yeah.
It's the NBA.
He fouled him before he took the shot. Way
before.
Yeah. I will say this. As big of a Kawhi hater, I won't even say I'm a Kawhi hater. I'm more just root against the Clippers because I'm a Lakers fan. If Kawhi went somewhere else, I'd probably be a fan of his again because I'm a San Diego State guy, and don't look at my shirt. I am a San Diego State guy, and that's where he went. But I will say Kawhi is stepping up here in this series with his back against the wall, down 2-0, and he started to ball. Game 6.
Down 2-0, then down 3-2. He stepped up in all the big moments.
Yep.
I can't even fault Luka, man. Luka is playing like a god this series. It's everybody else. And Donnie Nelson and Mark Cuban need to get their heads out of their asses this offseason and get this man some help.
Yeah, they need to realize what they got while they got it. Because it can be gone. He
can leave. This is a player-driven league. We see it more and more. He could be out there whenever he wants. He could be out of there.
Yeah, there's not any more journeyman players in the NBA. The NBA is a journeyman league.
I think Donnie Nelson needs to go at this point. They have always had a problem bringing in big-name free agents. You think with Luka, hopefully they could bring in that guy. But they were never able to.
Boban, let's go.
Brazil. Now we got
it, Nick.
From Brazil. How did this happen? We are getting all over the place. This is awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
cheers.
You for the comments.
I guess everybody outside of America says cheers.
Yeah.
Now, it's a 15-point game here with just under 8 minutes to go.
It's moving the right direction there. I'm telling you, paper clips gonna fold. The paper clips are gonna fold.
They need to really fold it.
I'm glad you guys are more optimistic. You guys are more optimistic than I am. I'm glad you are.
Boban, man. They got him back in there. We talked about him missing. And
the bigger story there is Luka missing the easy floater. What the heck? He's been off.
It's a little off, but you got Boban to clean it up, man. That's what it counts. Like, to me, that's the big – like, those are massive. Those aren't small things to me. Like, offensive rebound, you cash in on it. That's huge. To me, that's like in football, a dropped interception, right? Like dropped interceptions, I feel like result in touchdowns all the time. Like you have to cash in on it. So to me, that's a big deal. Like you get 2 points on a Luka miss. He's going to make some shots. You know what I'm saying? I know that's like a weird way to think about things, but like you just got 2 points on a Luka miss. He's going to make the next one. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's more likely than not that he does, but still, I don't want – this might be a case of too little too late. I know there's 8 minutes left, but still. You know,
come on, man. I'm telling you, Marcus Morris Sr. is feeling himself. He's about to take 3 just awful shots. And they're going to climb back into this.
I hope you're right.
It's going to get cut to under 10. The question is, are they going to really run out of gas? Because then you are going to need Luka to absolutely outshine Kawhi. And it just seems set up to like you cut it down to 8 and then Kawhi
takes
mid-range jumper. Mid-range jumper, and it's,
fast break dunk. And then Kawhi has 8 points by himself, and it's over. So what happened last game, except he was pulling up from 3, knocking him down.
Yeah, I actually thought you had this, Nick. That's what Syke's saying. Syke loves Euros, Twin Flames. I love the name.
I love the name, too. That's a mouthful, though.
Roasting your Mavericks.
Can we get some facts before we start saying, I thought I had this? I picked the Clippers in 6. It's on record. I'm happy we're even in a game 7.
I like that. That's what the Mavs need to utilize for their free agency pitch. Is like, hey man, you've got something that you want to pitch. You've got a business idea. Come on to Shark Tank. We'll invest in it, and then sign with the Dallas Mavericks. I'm sure that's legal.
Easy to do.
Easiness. Easy.
Yeah. Then you got all
easy lemon squeezy.
Your starting 5 will be an all-star team. Welcome back. Short commercial break. To the 44 viewers that are tuned in and the 3 guys that are sitting on the screen yelling into their microphones. Hope you guys are enjoying your day and enjoying this game. We're seeing if these Mavericks can make a comeback and make this interesting. This seemed like the first 2 quarters, especially first quarter and a half, that this was going to be a real tight back and forth, high scoring affair.
There's a 10-minute stretch that the Mavs just got absolutely obliterated on. Other than that, it really has been a good back and forth. How far will the Clips go if they win tonight? I think they beat the Jazz. Again, you hear me hate on the Clips all the time, but I do. I think they beat up on the Jazz, although I do think Rudy Gobert will have a larger impact in that matchup, taking away Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, their run to the hoop a little bit more.
I love it. I love it when a team thinks they have it. I love it when they think they're coming back and they're going to do something, and then they get smashed. I don't care who won. This is game 7. I don't care if it was the Clippers or the Mavs. I'm hating either way because that's what I do, Brian. You know that. I'm coming on here to hate a little bit. Mac, I don't know where he went. I guess he had to leave for a second, but I came on here to see Mac Daddy cry. Mac Daddy, where's the tears? Where's the 22 years of fandom rooting for the Mavericks and watching them get knocked out by the paper clips, as Brian Bolster calls them? The Clippers chose the Mavericks, and they said, we're going to beat you, and they're doing it right now. They're doing it.
Joe, if we see a Suns versus Clippers Western Conference Finals, which team do you think is coming out of that?
The Phoenix Suns are taking this. They knocked off the Lakers. They're going to knock off every and any team from L.A. because L.A. basketball sucks. Come on. And you think the Utah Jazz hands are going to do anything? This just right here with the paper clips winning this, and they're going to win. They're killing them. Domination right now. The Suns are going to represent the West. Say it in the comments. You guys know I'm right. You guys know I'm true. Where's Mac Daddy? Where's those tears, Mac?
I'm not going to cry. I'm okay. I'm okay.
We all know you just took a little tissue break.
I did. You know, I went to the bathroom. I got all the expletives out. I'm kidding. There's plenty more left. There's plenty more expletives left. I mean,
Finney Smith, though, is coming in clutch. He had a 3-point shot. Now the and one, but the
Can't
Clippers
give up the
continue
wide
to
open
hit
three to
threes.
Paul George.
They continue to hit threes. Yeah.
It's completely ineptitude on the defensive side of the ball by the Dallas Mavericks. Said it was going to be their Achilles heel, and like I don't know. This is just. I thought they put up more of a fight. More of a fight than a 15-point game.
Over, Mac. It's over.
You would have liked to thought in a game 7 you could at least hold somebody under 120. You would have liked to think that, huh?
And go better than 9 for 34 from the 3-point line when you need it the most.
No doubt, but the points aren't the problem.
And Paul George just chucking up threes at this point too.
No, Brian, it's game 7. You think your team would show up in game 7.
Right, Luka's doing everything.
Yeah, one guy showed up.
Oh, Finney Smith had another shot there.
He's wide open.
Yeah.
If that one would have hit, you could start feeling a little good. But
yeah, a little bit of buzz is coming.
Luka's getting back to the foul line here.
I like him.
The worst team in the entire NBA.
The Mavs, yeah, they're the worst team in the NBA. Zinger fumbles.
I don't know,
Luka
but that was possibly the worst question ever asked. The Pistons and the Timberwolves exist.
The Timberwolves, man. The Timberwolves, I always like
the Pistons.
dogging the Timberwolves.
It's the Pistons
because
the
the
Timberwolves.
Right, yeah, but people always hype up the Timberwolves. Like they're going to make the playoffs, like they're going to be good. Oh, the Timberwolves got like 2-3 superstars. It's like, no. Yeah. Sorry.
Andy Parker, Porzingis, I don't even know. $30 million a year for a 7-foot shooting guard that has no presence in the paint whatsoever. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The guy has an offensive repertoire of Anthony Bennett. It's that bad. It's ridiculous.
You know what I learned from this playoff?
7-3.
What I've learned from the playoffs is my fat ass could play in the NBA still. You could pay me whatever you want. I could go play for the Lakers right now. I could score 0 points like some of those guys. I could probably get 2 points. I could play for the Dallas Mavericks right now and put up what these guys are doing. I could do 2-3 minutes, whatever. I'll be out of breath by the time I get to the other side of the court, but I'll still be playing and putting up a better effort than some of these guys have.
Clippers turnover.
Yeah,
13 points or whatever is what I see. Let's go.
Missed 3 by Dorian Finney-Smith.
Pistons could take Mavs to game 7.
Hot take, Matt.
Yeah, I can't even respond to something like that.
See,
now it's just like
that Finney-Smith 3 though.
The last 5 minutes
it was a good shot. It was still a good shot though.
How can we poke Mac? If you guys could poke Mac in the comments, let's get this Mav 22 years Mavs fan right here. Let him know how good the Clippers are.
Under 5 minutes to go, 13-point game. They get the ball to Kawhi in crunch time. Reggie Jackson for 3 to put it away pretty much. Nope. Off the mark, under 5 minutes. Dallas with the ball, 13-point game.
Dang. Luka's just a touch off on all these little shots.
Yeah, I know.
111 to 100 with 4.5 minutes to go.
I just saw the one off the backboard. It's just right there.
Yeah.
Just missing it by
so 8. Close. Boban almost got the tip.
The Clippers played a little sloppy, like 3 possessions in a row.
Oh,
the Mavs
Boban, get it out, man. Oh, Boban, let's go.
Listen, it's a 11-point game right now with 4.5 minutes to go. Brian, you're getting there, bud, with your thoughts here.
Yeah, paper clips, man. They're gonna fold. The paper clips are gonna fold. Mac, I probably want this more than you, man. I gotta tell you, I probably want this more than you.
I think your expectations are just high. I think I'm not like. Here's the thing, like, it's just so debilitating. We were right there, twice. We were right there in game 3 to go up 3-0, which then you knew we were gonna get one of the next 4, right?
Yeah.
And it's like. It's heartbreak after heartbreak just within this series. That's how much of a diehard fan I am. My heart was broken after game 3. My heart was broken after game 6. My heart's going to be broken again today. This is a hard week for me. All right.
Here's the thing though.
A hard couple weeks.
They're working their way.
See, Porzingis doesn't even offend me. I knew he was a bust before he left the Knicks. Guy can't stay on the court. I watch basketball, unlike the guy that says the Pistons can take the Mavs to 7 games.
I don't want to hear it, Nick. I lost to a bunch of 50-year-olds in a flag football game yesterday. I've had a bad week too. Okay.
At least you called the Hawks.
Hey, man. Hey, Luka's 2 of his last 9, I believe. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get hot the last 4 minutes. You got to have some faith. He's gonna get hot.
We need scorching. I don't need hot. I need scorching right now. It's an 11-point game, 4.5 minutes to go.
All right, Hardaway is gonna come out of this.
Now. This is less than 300 seconds.
It could be a lot better if you could have a couple of those Luka shots back and have them go in, and we're looking at 111, 106, 111, 104, or even just one of those Finney-Smith threes landing. They've
had their chances, that's for sure.
Have given them a chance to get back in it,
Yeah. I mean, this wasn't, look, again, they're 9 for 34. I'm sorry, they're 9 for 35 from 3 with that Finney-Smith miss. That's not going to win you a game 7. You cannot shoot 9 for 35 when the other team is shooting damn near 50%. You have to keep pace. You have to at least shoot better than that.
And you can watch Mac Daddy rant on the NBA every Tuesday night. All you got to do is subscribe and hit the notification bell. I
got some great ones this week. They call me crafty coming on this week. Next week, I got J Mid Hoops. Last week, I had OJ No Sports. We got some great guests coming up.
Yeah, those are some great episodes, by the way, guys. If you guys don't recognize the names, those are kind of the big players in the TikTok gang for NBA. So it's good to see guys that you normally see like doing short content, giving their takes real quick on a long, full show, hour-long show, 30-minute show. They get to actually talk, and you get to know these guys a little bit more.
Yeah, I give them the room to speak, and that was another reason I'm doing it and reaching out to bigger creators is because we only see them in 1-minute spurts, man. Come on into the crosshairs. You get to see them in 25, 27-minute spurts. It's great stuff, like you said. Great conversation. I mean, Luka is 3 of 11 in the second half for 8 points. Sorry, I got to switch it over real quick. It's ridiculous.
Just got to point out, just like we got to point out, please, everyone that's in here, do these few things real quick. It'll take you 2 seconds. All right, 5 minutes. We'll see if the Mavericks can just get back into the game.
They're letting the ball Reggie Jackson from real deep drills the 3, 14-point lead for the Clips. That might be the dagger. That might be the dagger. I can't believe it. I mean, listen, when it comes down to it, the Mavericks made the other guys beat them today, and they did. But at the same time, they made it really easy for the other guys. They're not contesting any shots. They're throwing up ridiculous shots like Finney-Smith just did. They're looking at their first shot and thinking that's their best option instead of ball movement. No ball movement from the Mavericks. And when there has been ball movement, they've thrown the ball away and some really bad turnovers today. They stopped taking the ball into the paint and kicking it back out. Batum for 3 here to really put it away. He misses. 3.5 minutes to go. 14-point lead for the Clippers. God damn it.
Nick, they're starting to be on the wall a little bit. This will have to be a serious paperclip choke at this point.
It's just so aggravating.
We did see the Hawks try and give the game to the Sixers, so we've seen crazy today.
That wasn't a 14-point game with 3.5 minutes. I mean, Porzingis really stepped up today. His last 2 games combined, he scored 15 points. Today, he's got 14 points.
Luka laid an egg in the fourth quarter.
Luka laid an egg in the second half like he has been in some games this series. Let's not forget. I mean, the man has 37 points today, but still.
29 in the first half, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he used it all up.
That's the thing. It's running out of gas is what it is. It's running out of gas. All of a sudden, your teammates aren't hitting their threes, and the defense is just collapsing on you.
All right, how many people we got in here? Sorry, Brian. How many people we got? What?
46.
Let me hear your worst. Come on. Bring it.
Roast the Mavs.
Bring it. Let me hear your worst. I can take it.
They're coming in. Call the Mavs because they get knocked out.
No urgency on the boards again. I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is absolutely ridiculous. You've been out-rebounded by point guards all damn day. They don't deserve to win this game. It's ridiculous.
They're just giving up so many open threes. Like literally every possession is an open
10-point game. 2:40 left. Luka with a bucket.
10-point game. Let's go. Reggie Jackson with the turnover. I'm telling you, these paper clips, they're going to fold.
They're running out of time.
Hey, that's massive also for the momentum. That's a Luka contested layup right over Kawhi. That's good. That's good momentum. Let's go, man. Hey, subbing. Let's go, man.
Appreciate you. Everyone else want to follow suit with him. He's been in the chat throughout this live stream, so thank you for hanging around. DPG Vivid. We will probably sub back. I'll check it out.
Luka with a step back 3, 7-point game, 2:05 left.
What did I say? Come on, Nick. Somebody's got to be positive.
Thank you, Small. I appreciate it. Imagine getting knocked out by the Clippers. No, not just once, 2 years in a row, Small. However you say your name, Small.
That step back 3, man. Whew. That step back was so nice.
Reggie Jackson. The dagger. Reggie Jackson with the dagger. 10-point game again with 1:45 left.
Reggie Jackson? Like what? Reggie Jackson.
Let Reggie Jackson beat us. That's what you guys said.
You have to, but like the Clippers
He's 3
have
for 8
gotten...
from 3. He just decided to hit all 3 in the fourth quarter.
Oh my gosh.
JG, we don't have a gambling show up yet, but we're going to be looking at stuff like that during the NFL.
Another miss by Luka. Wrap it up, folks.
That is the one benefit to having the Reggie Jacksons of the world, the Marcus Morris, like the Clippers do. Those guys have irrational confidence. So, like, they aren't scared in the last minutes. And if you're a Clippers fan and you just see Reggie Jackson turn it over, and then if he would have missed that 3 and it's like we're only up 7, why isn't Kawhi touching the ball? You'd be upset. But sometimes it works out in your favor.
Oh, my God.
He has the Mavs +6. Ooh.
Yeah, well, it's a 13-point game right now after another Marcus Morris wide open 3. Hey, Mavs, stop leaving the guy hitting all the 3-pointers wide open. You don't even get a hand in his face.
DPG said Reggie's been turning up. Yeah, if Reggie Jackson plays like this, I'm willing to book the Clippers ticket right now. This is ridiculous.
And Marcus Morris, what's he got? 7 threes? Yeah. Like, they've gotten probably a couple threes out of Luke Kennard. Man
has never felt dangerous in his life.
Like, the Clippers, man, I mean, they're hitting the shots, but the Mavs are leaving them wide open every single time.
Men cry. Today's Nick's day. Nick, they just want to see you cry, man. That's all they care about.
Listen, I cried when my stepfather passed. I cried when my little sisters graduated high school. I will not cry over a basketball game. Again, I am not a Curry or bronzexual. I am okay.
Or at least a round 1 basketball game.
That's
right. This is round 1. Come on now.
Right? This is not game 7 of the NBA Finals. That, you might get me to cry. Game 7 NBA Finals.
If you win. I think if you win, you cry. If you lose, you just get really mad.
Dirk ain't crying. Dirk's got a ring. What the hell would Dirk be crying about?
I'm following this storyline with JG. He's got the Mavs +6. They got to hit some threes here in garbage.
Yeah, that's right.
It's an 11-point game right now as they foul Paul George and send him to the line.
He said he's rooting for Dallas as a Houston native. Like, come on, please do this for me. Just get within 6.
I'm rooting for you now. Yes, Andy Parker, Cuban's got to do something. And that means overhaul everything. This man does not have a legitimate number 2, not to compete in today's NBA. This man had to go toe-to-toe with the Clippers, with Kawhi and Paul George, with nothing more than Tim Hardaway Jr. and Kristaps Porzingis.
Both who really just haven't shown up today, especially Hardaway. He's been non-existent.
The Mavs really
in the second half.
They just got to focus on building a squad around Luka, and they're going to be fine. Luka has taken them to heights that were probably not expected back-to-back years. Was competing with a team like the Clippers in the playoffs like this.
I mean, honestly, and the way they started this season, even 20 games in, it looked like they were probably not going to make the playoffs. They were sitting down in the 12 or 13 seed.
Also, I have an announcement, and I don't mean to celebrate on your loss, Nick, but for the first time in Warzone sports history, we just passed 50 viewers in the live stream.
Let's go. Hey, we got a good crew.
Listen, if it means my pain for those kind of numbers, I appreciate everybody joining me to watch my heart break live in person.
While you guys are here,
thank you so much for being here.
Drop a like, man. We're working, we're grinding towards our dreams, and the only way they can come true is if you guys help us out with that subscribe button. Appreciate it.
That's right. And Mike, we just got to say it again, man. We've got so many shows every single week. We go live at least 3 times a week. Like, the content is there. We've got shorts popping up on YouTube. Check those out. So content, not only is it good, but there's plenty of it.
And don't forget to send me your hot takes. Give me all the smoke. I want it all. I got thick skin. I will argue right back. And do not get personal, because I promise you, I could get way worse.
Yeah, Nick Mack has the show Into the Crosshairs. It is NBA themed. I'm sure we got a lot of NBA fans in here. But if you drop some hot takes in the comments or send them to him, he reviews them during the show. It's a lot of fun. A lot of the stuff in the comments will probably be
Eddie Blanks, I'm with you. Damn it. 2 years in a row to these. To these two. They're probably going to be out in the next round. Good Lord.
Small PP
says that he likes it. I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Now I get it. He spelled small wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, Alf, I know it's Sunday and everything, but yeah, thanks.
A verse? I'm not too well versed myself.
All right. Any magic left? Come on. We got to have some hope here.
There's
still a minute left. They can do this. We've seen crazier. We've seen crazier.
Yeah, Tracy McGrady was on the court.
We got Luka.
Exactly.
Not Tracy McGrady yet. I mean, he's pretty damn good. Let's be honest. But
PG.
Yeah, dude, this guy's been interested the whole live. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, man. And for everyone that's watching and for DPG, we're going to be doing a lot of
back court.
Dang. Terrible non-call.
Realistically, I think he landed, on both.
We're going to be doing game 6s. And then for, the NFL season, MLB playoffs will be here too. So Warzone.
They're going to replay it.
Kind of our thing.
No, they're not.
That's backcourt. That's backcourt. They should have called it.
They didn't.
Just saw the replay.
What, did he come down in?
Yeah. Yeah, he came down and then took the step over. That's bad.
He toe tapped like a receiver.
Yeah, he was a little Tony Tap action.
Want to do that.
Oh.
It was really close to tearing his ankle up.
Trey Burke just about got.
Joe's already
Reggie Jackson again.
Listen, I think Phoenix might have a tougher time with Denver than they did with LA. Book it. That series is going 6 or 7.
Philly ending was nuts. Yeah, we actually caught the end of that game right when we started the live stream.
Yeah.
Crazy. We're sitting here talking about the Hawks winning it while the Hawks were blowing it. But they ended up.
Yeah, the only thing is the Mavericks can't run a full court press as well as the Philadelphia 76ers, which is what got them back in that game. No, we would rather freaking be there like bullfighters, laying them right to the lane. Here you go. Hey, Porzingis, you're 7 foot, biggest guy on the court, and you don't get deeper than the elbow. It's the most embarrassing thing in the world. I mean, Luka goes for over 40, and they lose by double digits. It's just ridiculous to me. Get this man some damn help. Everybody is complaining about Curry and LeBron having no help. I hear none of those cries for Luka. Get this man some damn help. And to go 7 games with this supporting cast just goes to show you how damn special this kid is. This supporting cast is trash. Hot garbage.
Oh, I got another announcement.
Pad Kleba, 1 shot attempt today. 1 shot attempt, and this guy's worth $15 million. Get out of here.
Another announcement, Nick. For the first time in Warzone sports history, we have just went over 70 viewers on a live stream.
Let's go,
man. Hey, tighten up. Let's go.
Tomorrow, also, if you guys want to tune in tomorrow, we're doing a live mock draft. So that's something to look out for.
Hit that subscribe button. Let's go. I want all the smoke. It's a 13-point game with 41 seconds left. Another, why call a timeout? Let it go. Let it go, bro. Let it go. I think we need to look at making a change in head coach as well. I think we need to.
No, Nick. No, come on.
No,
You're
hold
going
on.
too far
Hold
now.
on.
You're going too far.
How long has Carlisle been there? How long has Carlisle been there? A very long time. He's been there since 2009. He's been there since 2009.
So he won a championship.
2 years later and hasn't done nothing in a decade.
No, No. You are going too far. Rick Carlisle's not the issue here. Not
No,
the issue.
I know he's not the issue, but they can't build a team. I'm not saying he's
100.
the issue. He's not the
triple
sole
digits,
issue.
man. That's
but we
awesome.
have to look at him being a part of the problem. His approaches the last 2 games when you have a chance to close out LA can be part of the problem.
Man, 110 people taking their time out of the day to watch us right now. That's pretty awesome. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's unbelievable, guys. I mean, I know I'm a Dallas fan, but this really gets me going that you're all in here watching my meltdown at the moment. I was mid-meltdown when everybody started joining. But maybe that's a good thing. But anyway, as we've been saying this whole time, hit that subscribe button. You can watch Brian on Sports Force every Wednesday night. You can watch me on Into the Crosshairs every Tuesday night. The 2 GOATs, the 2 bosses here with you in this live stream. Mike on the mic, Joe Morley. Catch them every Friday night on Friday Night Wars. And you can catch them on Welcome to the War Zone as well. And we got other guys going too. We got the new fantasy football show. We got 3 lives every week with Tony Tucker. The War Zone Sports Network. We here, baby. Hit that subscribe button.
That's an amazing plug. That's an amazing plug.
We in this basketball live, I know it's game 7. I know the Clippers are doing their thing, and Mac Daddy he won't cry because he said he's a man. He's gonna hold his tears in, but as soon as we go off the air, it's gonna start flowing. But almost 2,000 people have viewed this live Warzone Sports history, guys. Thank you.
Everybody
Mavericks
for joining us. Thank you. Wow, thank you so much. I appreciate everybody joining, sharing my miseries.
Oh, Paul George
Are any of you guys
just got ripped out of the air.
No.
I am a fan of a good sports team. I'm a fan of the Los Angeles Chargers.
So no, we're not. All of us
Currently
on this. That's what makes us great. Is all of us root for crappy teams, and we all feel the pain just like Mac is feeling right now.
Currently,
true,
every
huh?
single
That's
one
true.
of my teams suck. So like, this
Hey,
is really
hold
all
up,
I have.
Hold up. My team lost a Super Bowl. The Super Bowl by 1 yard. 1 yard. I still remember to this day.
At least you've been relevant the last decade.
Yeah, man. Julio Jones. Let's go.
Darnell, I know. You know what? I really like Kyrie as well. I'm a big Kyrie fan. I do think that Bucks-Nets series is going 6 or 7. I can't wait for that. Every game 6, every game 7 for the rest of the NBA playoffs. Find us here live. We're doing all of it, play by play. We're going to go off. And just because our teams aren't in it doesn't mean we're not going to have anything crazy to say. Trust me, stick around. You'll love us.
Nick, Hardaway just finally made a play.
Oh, yeah. He tried
to
take out Paul George. Little too late. All right. You could have tried to pull an Andrew Bynum on Berea, in the first half.
Yeah, Paul George 5 for 15 today, but I think he played better than that. I really do.
NBA Finals, Suns Nets.
What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, I'm going Suns Nets. With the Nets winning it.
I'm going.
I want to say Bucks, but it didn't look good yesterday.
I'm going Nuggets Nets.
Wow,
man,
good call, Mike. Hey, Mike, that's a great sleeper pick. Great sleeper pick with the Denver Nuggets.
Luka carrying the team like Curry did. Well, I mean, yeah, they're both eliminated.
I mean, hey, at least we went to a game 7.
Clippers versus Nets. That I don't know if the Clippers can do it because I don't know if they can make it through an entire playoff.
That would be one of the funnest matchups, though. That's a lot. That's 5 superstars. I mean,
very minimum.
4.5 superstars.
You're gonna see that mismatch of Kawhi versus Kevin Durant. It'd be a lot of
thoughts. Hey guys, while my season is ending before my very eyes, let's get our thoughts on the Dame situation here.
Somebody needs to save him. Somebody needs to save Damian Lillard, and the Knicks is not the answer. My gosh, you want to put the man through some more pain? First of all, what are the Knicks? I keep hearing that for Dame and the Knicks. What are they going to trade? Kevin Knox?
A lot
People
of
thought
stuff.
he was cool like 2 years ago. Frankie Smokes? Like, who are they going to trade? Are you going to trade Julius Randle?
No. You might be able to get rid of like Mitchell Robinson and package him with, let's say, one of Quickly or Toppin, which is a hard choice to make. Probably Toppin is the one that goes out of that.
My gosh, man. I know Portland has a reputation, and the Northwest does too, if you know what I'm saying. But
look,
if they traded Damian Lillard for Mitchell Robinson and a couple picks, are you crazy?
I mean, listen, but what's better? I mean, but what's a better situation? What are you going to get from somebody else for Dame? What is somebody going to be willing to give up for Dame? Because anybody trying to get Dame is going to be a contender trying to get over the hump. So you're looking at guys towards the end of your rotation and towards the end of and picks to make that deal happen, because any contender trying to get over the hump is not going to give away the core part. Like, you're not going to get Denver to give up.
I know what you're saying. Hold on. I know what you're saying, but I can give you a couple things, and I understand that picks are likely going to be a part of it. But one, the Clippers giving up Paul George. They would do that. The Nuggets, they definitely would trade Jamal Murray. They would definitely trade Michael Porter Jr.
But Portland
they should probably trade both.
That's the thing. Portland wouldn't take Jamal Murray back.
But Nick, I'm not saying that's necessarily great for Portland. But what I'm saying is, a trade of Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and 2 first-round picks is millions of miles better than Mitchell Robinson.
Of course, but Denver wouldn't be stupid enough to trade that. That's trading away their entire
I think they should. They should.
No, for just Dame and Jokic, when Jokic is going to be a free agent.
You still have Aaron Gordon. No, you still have Aaron Gordon. That's the way the league works. If not, you're stuck in mediocrity. Like, you're going to be a 3, 4, 5 seed.
Denver.
Hey, Mike, that's the one I want to see. But
get that off my screen right now. I'm watching my team eliminated right now, and I have to see Dame to the Lakers. That's the last damn thing I want to see.
But Nick, hold on, because we had just talked about the Nuggets, and you had specifically mentioned correctly that the Nuggets are in a tough place because they aren't going to be able to pay Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray. The Nuggets should definitely do that. I guarantee you the Nuggets would do that. The question is, would Portland take that?
They don't get rid of both. First of all, Aaron Gordon, we have to remember the Nuggets didn't sign him to extension. He's a free agent this offseason. He could easily jump ship. If somebody gives him big money. For sure. So that's not a guarantee. And I just don't see them. They have MPJ locked up still on his rookie deal, and they have Jamal Murray locked up for, I think, another year or two. Somebody's not going to take just Jamal Murray with another. They just traded away a lot for Aaron Gordon too. Remember, they traded away Hampton, a lot of their trade capital for Aaron Gordon. There's just not enough. Murray's trade stock went all the way down when he tore his knee out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. But other than that, I still think there's the potential of the Pelicans. Like, I don't love that, but you trade Brandon Ingram.
The one I've heard.
The Sixers. What about the Sixers?
Does
Ben
Denver,
Simmons?
Yeah, it would be Ben Simmons. Now, I think they would ask for almost something, if not the same as, very similar to the Harden package. They would want Maxey. They would want Thibault. And I don't know if the Sixers are ready to give up on them yet, because it looks like they're ready to give up on Shake Milton, judging by the playoffs so far.
Yeah. I mean, we have to always take into account with these hypothetical trades, right? Like, you're always going to get 75, 80 cents on the dollar for your star. You're never going to get anything that's like 100%, right? I think personally, Nick, you try to avoid the James Harden package, because the Houston Rockets, oh my gosh, the Houston Rockets got absolutely fleeced in that deal. Fleeced. They gave up James Harden for nothing. Man, what a meme. By the way, did you guys see that meme with the crying Jordan face on the back of LeBron James' balding head? Let's see it. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Eddie said Jazz in 5 games, book it. Over Clips, right? They're playing.
I'm with you. I'm so against the Clippers now. Oh, my God. I can't believe the only basketball being played this time of year right now at the Staples Center is going to be from the Clippers.
That's wild, man.
Alrighty, let's
the Jazz better beat them.
Let's get to a review here for the Mavericks. We'll start with Nick, since he's going to be a little bit more emotional about it. Final thoughts on the season, I should say, for you. Successful, unsuccessful. What do you like to see going into next year?
In like a lamb, started to play like a lion and out like a lamb. Laid a complete egg today. The guys that we needed to step up didn't step up. Luka, absolutely. I know he ended up with 41 points, but we're talking about 12 in the second half of a game 7 that they came out the third quarter on fire. They took a 5-point lead. And then it was just like no heart, no energy, no passion. Mark Cuban, Donnie Nelson, look in my eyes. Blow the whole damn thing up. If they're not named Luka Doncic or Jalen Brunson, blow the whole damn thing up. Do not overpay Tim Hardaway Jr. Do not overpay anybody else. You're already overpaying Kristaps Porzingis. See what you can get for Maxi Kleber, please. 2 shot attempts today. $15 million for 2 shot attempts. Gone. $15 million for 6 and 5. You need to shred this roster apart. Jalen Brunson, Luka Doncic, the only 2 that are untouchable. Period. Blow it up.
Jalen Brunson is not untouchable. My gosh.
Okay, he's not untouchable for the right deal. He's not untouchable for the right deal. But in my opinion, see, you view untouchable as I view untouchable. Obviously, it's a business. And if you could get something outlandish packaged for Jalen Brunson, yes, you take it. But like untradeable should mean he's got a very bright future, and I wouldn't trade him for nothing.
Yeah,
untradeable.
He's the guy that you want. He's the guy that you want to be a part of that team.
You want him backing up Luka, or if you decide to switch Luka over to the 2, you want Jalen Brunson running point. You don't want Dorian Finney-Smith as your next guy up. You don't want Hardaway Jr. as your next guy up. You want Tim Hardaway Jr. as your third option, and we wanted him to be the 1A, the 1B to Luka's 1A this series. We needed Kristaps to be the 2. Oh, my God, he wasn't even the 5.
Is there anything positive we can draw from this for the Mavs, though?
There is definitely a great future for the Mavs.
Yeah, the positive is Luka Doncic balled out. Like, I know he didn't literally drop 60 and duplicate the unbelievable first half. He ended up with 46 points. That's still 17 points in the second half. I get it. He cooled off some, but he was fine. To me, the takeaway is that his role players did not step up. You have Hardaway Jr., 1 for 9 from 3. The Zinger, 0 for 5. And the Clippers got Marcus Morris Sr., 7 and 9 from 3. And the Clippers as a team did not miss a free throw, 24 for 24. Right? I mean, part of the reason that Kawhi was able to close the way that he did, Kawhi played a great game, is that he didn't have all the pressure to create every single shot the entire game. Right. He was able to kind of rest through the game. And particularly where I think it came up biggest is put in that effort on defense. And the Mavs weren't able to do that. So I think the Mavs have a lot to feel good about. But at the same time, I do think that they need to have some urgency in getting this thing fixed up soon. Because I know, Mike had mentioned this is a players' league. Like, you can't take any years with these young guys for granted. Like, don't just expect that you're getting 10 years from Luka. Those days are gone. Yeah. Right? You used to be like, okay, we've got this guy. We're going to have him at least until he's 32, 33, until he starts fading. That's not the case anymore.
If you don't show Luka now and within the next 2 to 3 years that not only that you are willing to, but that you can and you will build around him, he will leave. This is a players' power league. We've seen it with Harden. We've seen it with Russ. We've seen it with a lot of people. KD, LeBron. We've seen it. So, yeah, the window for this is right now. Mark Cuban, Donnie Nelson. Again, I said it at the beginning of the program. I'll say it now at the end of the program. Get your heads out of your asses and build around this kid before you lose him. Because I know I was joking around, and I'm hopeful that Jokic will come play for Dallas in 2023. Well, if you don't make some moves and make Luka a little happier, you might see Luka go to Denver.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like this is the team that they wanted to rock with the last 2 years. They let the guys develop. This is as far as you're going to get with this team. Move someone in, bring in some guys. Let's change it up. I'm not saying an out haul, not necessarily. I'm okay with keeping Hardaway around. I'm okay with keeping Porzingis around if he can fix his game up. But this team right here, they've gone at it back-to-back years and gotten eliminated in the first round. So if you want to go to the second round, let's improve this offseason. Let's improve the Mavs. Let's move on to the Clippers. I know you guys don't want to talk about the Clippers as much because we all were rooting for the Mavs to win this game. Clippers versus Jazz, right? What are you thinking, Brian? Clippers, Jazz. How many teams and who wins?
I'm thinking Clippers, and I'm thinking in 6, to be quite honest with you. I think they have what it takes to stymie Donovan Mitchell as much as possible. I think they're going to guard the three-point line much better than we've seen the Mavs do it this game to take out those role players with Joe Ingles. And I think that they're going to be able to do enough. They go small, and that hurts Rudy Gobert. Like, if they go small with that small ball lineup with Marcus Morris Sr. at the 5, and he's hitting 7 threes, Rudy Gobert will not be able to be on the court. They will have to bench him. And at the end of the day, I'm rocking with Kawhi over Donovan Mitchell. So that's how I see it playing out. I think the Clippers are finally going to make conference finals for the first time ever, which I will not be happy to see at all, especially with the Lakers not getting to be in that conference final. See, last year, I kind of did hope a little bit that the Clippers would make it just so the Lakers could smack them around in the playoffs. That would have been awesome. But now that we aren't there to defend ourselves, it's got me worried.
It's like the opposite of what happened last year. And imagine this storyline if we see Chris Paul versus his old team, the LA Clippers, in
That'd
the
be
Western
awesome.
Conference Final.
Now, well,
Go CP3.
I have to put this out there too. This series took a lot from Kawhi and Paul George. It took a lot from this entire team, and they have to continue to play at that level. If they regress a little bit, the Jazz have the ability to run them out the building.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, those shooters, they get hot. And it just takes one of them to get hot. You got Ingles. You got the other Bogdanovich over there. You got Donovan Mitchell, who we know can turn it on in the playoffs at any point. He did it the first series against the Grizzlies. He did it last year in the bubble. So we know he can turn it up. Rudy Gobert, to me, is going to rule the inside presence. We don't know the health of Ibaka moving forward. And if it's just Zubac, as their biggest man, Gobert's going to have a field day in the paint. So, we got to see how the Clippers come out game 1 of this series.
I do think we got to take like 5 more seconds and reflect on what Kawhi just did in this series. Again, I understand it's a first-round series. I understand it's against a pretty bad defensive team. But he balled out this first-round series. I believe he averaged like 37 points per game and was extremely efficient every game. I mean, the only kind of down game that he had, I believe, was game 2. He was still 7 for 19. Like, he still had a solid game when we know he brings it on defense. Mm-hmm. So, Kawhi Leonard, I mean, hats off, man. But like Nick said, he's going to have to keep it up.
Yeah, he stepped up when the team needed it.
They cannot regress. They can't give an inch. They cannot give 1 inch if they want to get past the Jazz. The Jazz are a far more superior defensive team than Dallas Mavericks. They have to play exceedingly. They have to take care of the ball exceedingly well and nearly mistake-free basketball.
What are you thinking, though, Nick? What's your prediction? What would you take?
Jazz in 7.
So you guys almost have opposite. That'll be interesting to see play out. I'm kind of rooting for that, even though I picked the Nuggets just like 10 minutes ago. I'm kind of rooting for CP3 versus the Clippers now. I think that'd be entertaining. The storylines for it. I can make some cool graphics on my Instagram page. Randy says Kawhi sucks because he played the Mavs. No big deal.
Anybody can put up 45 on the Mavs.
Right.
Yeah, shout out Dorian Finney-Smith, the primary defender on Kawhi this series. Got cooked. Yet another reason why he needs to go. But,
He was the only kind of role player to step up offensively this game, though. He had it pretty good.
Okay, guys. I think we're getting to a point here where we can call it. We still have 51 viewers in the stream. We appreciate every single one of you. Please subscribe. Please drop that like before we go. This was an amazing live stream. We broke some records for the War Zone here in this one.
Shattered.
Yeah, everyone who helped out with that. Yeah, shattered it, like 5x some of those records. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Any last things, any last plugs, gentlemen?
No, just again, please. Oh, well, Brian, you go first. I want you to go first.
Hey, man, just to make sure, subscribe, hit that notifications bell. We've got, 5 weekly shows. We've got 3 live streams at a minimum each week. And we've got a bunch of creative passionate guys on this network. I know we've also got the website with articles. You got to check that out. I'm a part of Sports Force, specifically as far as the Wednesday weekly show. You've got to check that out. But hey, man, I think you guys can see the passion that we bring to the game. These live streams are fun. Win or lose, we have fun with each other, right? So I just got to say, the Warzone Sports Network, we're up next.
Absolutely. And I just want to make sure that tomorrow everybody knows it's Mock Draft Monday live on the Warzone Sports Network YouTube. They will be here live Monday. I don't know what time. Mike might be able to give you a better time, but right here, Mock Draft Monday for all your fantasy needs. You got to keep it locked right here. Also on Tuesday nights, please go check out my NBA YouTube show, Into the Crosshairs, bringing some of the best creators from TikTok over to YouTube so you can see them on a longer platform. This week, I got They Call Me Crafty. Last week, I had OJ No Sports. Please leave your hot takes in the comments. I will rip them apart on air and give you a shout out. But please check out every single show on the Warzone Sports Network. We're here. Thousands of viewers in the live today. Thank you so much. Even if it was at the expense of my Dallas Mavericks, we appreciate you.
Thanks, guys, for the nice plugs. Yeah, everyone, please drop that subscription button and hit the little notification bell next to it. Like these guys are saying, we are posting content on a daily basis, sometimes multiple times a day. You won't regret it. Definitely turn on notifications because we are doing a mock draft tomorrow. Not exactly sure on the exact time. It's kind of when we can get everyone together for it. So that will be coming up tomorrow as well. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Let me just double check. There's nothing else we need to throw back in there. Yep, I think we got everything. We'll see you next time on the Warzone Sports Network.
Warning, warning, warning.
Let's get ready to rumble.